Hey, what's up,
That's
dude?
better.
Oh my
That's
god,
better.
that
How are you, man?
view. What the
Yeah, I thought I'd take my green screen down, but my lighting's gonna be fucked. But yeah, there's the view.
No, that's amazing. Holy shit.
How are you, man?
Feeling ashamed of my lack of view right now. That's how I'm feeling. Oh my
So
god.
you could probably, if you were smart, like 4chan, you could probably actually pinpoint where I live based off the buildings
Really?
behind
All
me,
right. So that's the chat's goal today. By the end of the podcast, can you get to Tabor Street? Can you appear on his camera? Actually, not even get to go into his apartment or whatnot. Just go down onto the street. I see a little bit of straight view there. Just go down the street and just wave to us. That's all. Imagine that, dude.
That's all we need.
That would be amazing, dude. Imagine if you just fucking imagine if you just did that for your stream. No green screen. And it was like that, what was that old show? New York Time. It was like Times Square. It was like Times Square, and they do like it was like an MTV show. But there'd always be the people down the bottom being like, yeah, like shit. You can have that.
You get that with like Sunrise and stuff as well, where you know you can see people out the window like.
Bro, they got signs like "Marry me, Tabor." Okay, before we start as well, am I saying you're at Tabor? It's Tabor, right? Do I say?
I don't have a right answer. I've been telling everyone something different. It's like Tavor, Tabor, like
no.
so whatever you like, man.
Bro, maybe that's where I've gone wrong. Maybe that's where I've like gone astray. I've probably heard you say it like a million different ways. I'm like, oh fuck.
Apparently it's Israeli or something for like an eagle or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, really?
All I know is I'm soaring, so.
Oh, that's fucking rad. Oh man. Okay, let's get into it quickly. Little cue to the chat there. How's he sound? Is he nice and equal volume to me, or is he a little bit loud? You might be even a little bit louder than me.
That might be me. I'm big on my audio quality, so if I'm loud,
you sound juicy, man. I'm gonna turn you down just slightly. All right, say a couple of things for me. Say, hey, you're watching the MattyAP podcast. Don't have to say that.
Hey, you're watching the MattyAP podcast, the best damn podcast on twitch.tv.
Oh my god, I'm using that. Even though I talked over it, I got to use that shit. All right, that's perfect. All right, what's everyone saying? What's the word on the street? Oh, he's good. All right, I turned him down a little bit. All right, well let me know.
I should ask. Sorry.
Yeah,
off the bat. Anything I can't say? Like
no, you can. No, you say whatever you want, babe. You say whatever you want.
I have a potty mouth. That's all.
Oh no! Oh fuck no! You say whatever you want, man. Any racist slurs, we allow them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I actually watched the podcast. I actually fucking I know we should totally get into this because this is pretty much the podcast already. But people are probably like, why can't I see their faces? Because I do this pre-podcast like little chat thing. All right, let's get into it, and I'll remember to talk about this podcast I just watched because there was a thing.
Problem.
All right, everyone, my guest today, the absolutely stunning view and man today's guest Tavor I think I'm trying to think of other ways I could say it. I didn't do my clap. I still got to get that soundboard, dude. I need a stream deck. This is going to be like the first topic of every podcast. I need a stream deck. Do you have one?
I saw you mention, I think it was on the podcast yesterday that you mentioned you wanted a stream deck. Yeah, I got gifted one actually by a friend, and they're phenomenal, man. They are so good.
Oh, dude, you got gifted one. I have a friend and he wants to sell it to me. What a friend. Hey,
yeah, well, I mean, I would have paid, but...
Toddy, take notes, Toddy. Take notes. But dude, yeah, I think honestly it's just going to be like every button is just going to be an applause. Just a different type of applause. Just every single one say a different guest. Like, yeah, woo! I feel like I need it because me just clapping always seems a bit like, hey! It just seems a bit like pathetic of me just clapping. So I want to make it a bit more of a thing.
Can I just say, by the way, off the bat, thank you very much for having me on, man. I'm a big fan of this show, and I think you're doing really good work with this show, and it's I'm pleased to be here at the start of it. So thank you very much,
dude. Thank you so much for the compliment. You know what? You're the first person to thank me straight off the bat for coming on. You know what? I think you're a confident dude though. Like you exude confidence. Like a lot of my guests that have come on, pretty much most of them, they start out by going, "Oh, I'm a bit nervous. I'm a little bit nervous." You know what I mean? You're not nervous, are you?
I'm a little bit nervous, but I came from a tequila masterclass.
I did see that. I did see that.
So I'm like a little bit lubricated in the right way. So it's like it's killing the confidence. Yeah, it's like
the
helping
right way. Now I'm starting to question which way that could be.
No, but like I think like I'm nervous, but you're like, I think your assessment is kind of like, I like to think that I like to try and be confident. I like to try and be, you know what I mean? Like it's,
I agree. I mean, Pete, like, I remember when I started going out with my now wife, who I've been with for like 12 years, I remember she always said confidence was like one of the most attractive traits. And I took that on board because I wasn't like the most confident kid growing up. And I was like, ooh, so I don't know. And I really took note of that. It's true though. Confidence is sexy. Like, it is. Confidence is sexy as hell. Like, you know, people that kind of mope around, whatnot. I mean, not say, oh, now all my previous guests are going to be like, oh, am I not sexy? Because you said I was nervous. Am I not sexy? Is that what you're saying, Matt? No, you're very sexy as well. But it's just, you know what I mean? Like confidence. It's a thing. So this podcast, right? That I think because I'm doing a podcast now, and I'm also actively kind of sussing out more podcasts on YouTube. This podcast got recommended to me through the algorithm. And you know, like that Friendly Geordies guy, there's Isaac Butterfield, and then there was some other guy who I didn't fucking know. But apparently they were down in Melbourne for a comedy festival, so they got invited all at one time on this podcast, which is pretty dope. I can't even imagine having those powerhouses on the on a single podcast. But yeah, like a few minutes in, one of the guys drops the N-word. I'm like, holy shit. Like, what would I do? If I had to guess. But he was like, look, it's one of those grey areas because I don't know what nationality he is, but he has like a darker complexion, but he's not like, I don't know. So it's like, it's that weird. And he's like,
it seems like it's part of his vocabulary anyway. Like his natural.
Because they were like, because they beeped it out in the podcast, which kind of, I guess, fair call because it's a bit of a little. But he like then was like, well, I'm the first person to say the N-word on the podcast, and I was a bit like, oh boy, and then one of the other guys said, oh, but you're allowed to say it. And he's like, am I though? Like, and he just didn't know. I'm like, this is so weird, dude. Like, they were really like, and it was like, yeah. So I don't know. It's like that gray area. But I always think like, what if I have a guest on one day and they just like go crazy, just talking some shit? You know what I mean? And I'm like,
yeah, it's a lot of pressure for you, eh? You got to vet people, you know?
Yeah, I've never thought about
face tats. I don't know.
Well, I want to delve into the face tats in a bit because I'm super curious. I'm sure you thought that was going to come up at some point, or maybe it's so like embedded. Like that's the thing, right? So okay, let's just fucking delve in because I'm just super curious about.
So coming into it, I determined that I'm going to be as honest as hell. I like to think I'm the kind of person that wears my heart on my sleeve, so I'm totally happy for any kind of conversation like that. And like I think if you're gonna have tattoos on your face, like you'd be a bit of an idiot if you would not expect that. You know what I mean? It's like your eyes see it. It's like, how can you avoid it? It's like they're there. And I mean, look, I met you. Let's go back to the beginning. I met you not last PAX, I believe, but the PAX before. And I remember like Metal Maniac Matt, I believe Mobbles. Yep. And Raw Genesis, they were hyping you the fuck up to me. They're like, you've got to meet this Tavor dude. He's like, and they're like, he's gonna blow up on Twitch. He's like killing it. He's got the personality. I'm like, oh, I've got to meet him. And I remember they were like, yeah, come, he's over here, come in. And they took me over to meet you because I think you just rocked up. And I remember seeing this guy with like dreads and like the face tats. Right. And I'm thinking, bro. Call me crazy. I swear you were wearing like gold fronts even. I have gold. Yeah, I have gold grills.
Really, bro? Yeah. I want to delve in on that because I think I've thought at a time it'd be so funny to see it gold tan walk around and be like, yeah. Like little John, is that the guy? He's like, yeah. But yeah, dude, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, and I was like, this guy's wild. This guy's like everything I couldn't be because I'm so scared to like do things. Like I like to express myself with fashion and like but pretty basic shit, you know what I mean? But
you're a fashionable guy. I've seen your Instagram.
I try. Oh, thank you. I try. But like I would love to get tats. Like I love the look of tats. But
do you not have one?
No. I'm too scared of commitment, dude. Like I feel like I'll get a tat and then I'll freak out the next day and be like, what is this? So in my mind I'm like, man, face tats, I get terrified with the thought of doing it. Even though I reckon I'd rock that shit. Because no joke. Well,
they're a stupid idea. Like I'll say that off the bat. Like, getting face tattoos is a stupid idea. I would not recommend anyone do it. No, not at all.
Okay, let's delve. Yeah. So I'm so curious about like the when it happened, the thought process, because like I've never been able to talk. Like, here's the thing as well. Look, I jump around a lot, but I've seen a lot lately on Twitter. Not a lot, but here and there, people with tattoos. And look, I never do this, so I don't feel personally attacked by it, but I do also feel a bit like, but look, people that kind of like, they say, don't ask me about my tattoos. Like, so, you've seen that, people, and they're like,
all the time.
Like, I get what they're like, they don't like people coming up and grabbing their arm and be like, cool tat, man. Like, that sounds invasive. But I heard someone the other day, and they're like, don't come up and start a conversation by asking me about my tattoos. And I thought,
I think that's a bit wankerish in my opinion.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like, and I thought, like, that's a bit, it's tough. Like, you've put this art on your body, and it's a conversation. It's like when I had my beard. I had my beard down to like my tits. Yep. And I loved it because it was a perfect way to engage conversation with people. People would start talking to me and go, "Hey, cool beard, dude," and it would open up this full-on conversation, which you might otherwise not have had. So I think like a tattoo, hey, it might open up conversation. And I feel like surely a little bit of getting a tattoo is for an outward image in ways of people noticing your individuality. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking like, why would I get a tattoo? Would it be for me? Would it be a little bit to express myself to others? Would it be for my own enjoyment? I
think you're right, man. Like, that's a conversation. Like, that is a conversation. I don't think that's an answer. Like, there's an answer to that. Like I'd like to think, I used to think growing up, no, they're just for me, and but like if you're being really mature with yourself, I think you are wearing something that ultimately other people see, and that's most, like, they see it more than I see it. I forget that I'm tattooed all over, I completely forget, because I don't see that. So it's like, I just kind of would feel like if you were gonna do something like that garners attention, whether or not that's why you did it, be a bit of a fool to be like, oh, don't talk to me about my tattoos,
I find it kind of crazy. Do you reckon a lot of people are just sick of? Do you get a lot of people hitting you up about it though? Like, do you? Surely, I mean,
it's usually the first thing that people bring up.
Yeah, maybe it's just like, but maybe it's at a point where they just get over that. I mean, I can imagine it'd get like tiresome. I mean, like when I know this is completely different, but when I shaved my beard off, I have to admit I did get kind of over like people asking me like, where's the beard? I'm like, not on my face. Like, it got a bit tiring. So I guess it's like you continue telling the story or saying, and you kind of still go, oh, this is where, like, you still are polite about it and whatnot, even though you might kind of be like, I'm so over it. But I guess that's kind of the I guess when you get a tattoo, you almost have to be ready for that, huh? Like, you have to be prepared that you were going to get, but maybe people don't think about it. Okay, so these face tats. So you've got like the 3 dots. Which I've seen that a few. I think Ollie Sykes from Bring the Horizon has the 3 dots, I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he does.
Could be wrong. I think a few people.
I beat Ollie Sykes in a beer drinking competition as well. By the way, yeah. Because I think because of the tats, I remember noticing. Oh, dude, you got That's Ollie Sykes next to you, and I was like, okay.
You got to tell me this story right now.
It was just years ago. It was maybe how old am I? Okay, so it was probably about 8, maybe 7 years ago. I think they just brought out their second album, and they were at the Colonial Hotel in Melbourne.
Oh, really?
And I was there seeing a band, and I think it was, they were there having an after party, and the dude was just standing next to me in the crowd. And I was drunk, and I was like, and everyone loved him, for obvious reasons. Yeah, they're a really talented band. And I was like, fuck it, man. I was like, hey, do you want a beer? And he's like, yeah, sure. I was like, yeah, but you've got to scull it before I can scull it. And he's like, all right, I guess that's a deal. And then, I just beat him. I think I cared more about the competition than he did.
Yeah.
Just like, but.
Well, you're an Australian, are you? You're Australian. You know how to drink a beer.
It's my claim to fame.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. That's wild, man. I've never had a brush with fame like that in a way, Like, I'm not one to, like, gush over famous people, but I think if I did come across someone that I respected for their craft, I would definitely be like, damn, boy. Like, I'd be hyped to meet them.
Man, do you know the Aussie content creator Excessive Profanity?
Yes.
I had the chance, like, I met him in person, and I gushed. Like, I actually turned into a blubbering mess.
Dude, it can be so hard not to, because you want to make a good impression, and you got, like, that one chance, and you're like...
Yeah, and you don't want to annoy him, and, you know...
that's true. You're like, am I too much? Am I, like, Yeah, that's true, dude. It's funny, because they're just people, but it's, like, at that point, it's, like, they're just people that have a lot of people that try and talk to them. So you don't want to be that... You're like, I don't want to be the other guy that's just... Yeah, it's tricky. Because I've never really...
And it's like... my admiration is, I feel it comes from a very genuine place. It's like, especially someone like Excessive Profanity, I can tell from the kind of person he is, he doesn't like being put on a pedestal or anything like that. And it's not, that's not what I'm trying to do, but it's like, I admire you and I admire what you do, and I need you to know that. I need my soul to tell you that. And
surely people in that stage of their, I'd like to say, career, surely they still love getting confirmation that they're doing well and that people love their shit. As much as they hear it all the time, getting like a personal kind of, like, I love it right now, right? Like I've had a few people hit me up. Even example, when you put that tweet out and said like about, you know, MattyAP, you're doing great with the podcast and how you talk, you know, to people so long, and I like that meant so much, dude. You know what I mean? Like that meant so much that you reached out and said that. I've had a couple of, just a handful of people that have sent me messages at random times saying, and I'm like, I hope that feeling never goes away, that means so much, you know?
Do you want some brutal context? And I think it'll make that compliment even more. Honestly, man, when you announced that you were starting this format, I was like, I was like, that is ambitious. I was like, wow. I was like, dude is gonna, like, I honestly think anyone would struggle. It's nothing to do with you. I think anyone would struggle.
I agree.
And then I tuned into a couple of shows and I was like, holy shit, this guy's got the juice. Like, he's got it. He's actually got it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. Bro, I won't lie. I was like, everyone's gonna think it's just super ambitious, so I was even promoting it as like, I know it's ambitious, guys. Like I believe I said that on like my first post. I'm like, I know it sounds ambitious, so I'm like, I haven't proven anything yet, and even my streams at that point were sporadic as fuck. So like, because I just wasn't inspired by them, I was kind of just doing the same thing over and over. It felt a little bit uninspired. I think the best part about doing these podcasts is that I'm held accountable. I book the guests, and if I don't turn up, I'm letting them down. But the best part is I haven't felt like I wanted to not turn up yet. You know what I mean? Yep. So I'm loving it. It's too easy. But yeah, it's very ambitious. So and there's a lot that goes on in the background because of the booking the guests, and also, you know, making sure you know your shit about them enough to hold that conversation, and just all the stuff that goes on with it that people might not see. So it's one of those things that it's nice when you get a message out of the blue that just says, hey, you're doing well, man, like, keep it up. You go, fuck, like, it's so good to, like, you get that weird, like, endorphin rush of, like, I can do this, like, you know what I mean?
I'm glad, man.
Like, yeah, it really, those messages, like the one you sent, it's like I can start feeling a bit like, oh, am I doing well? And then that just picks me right up, man. It gets me back to 100%. People don't understand that is like so powerful, you know what I mean? That a simple message, like a quick little message, could change someone's whole day or whole week, or they can take that with them for so long. So yeah, it's to anyone listening, you tell your favorite content creator you love them, because they will like, no matter how big, let them know, because you don't know, man. Like, and even that's the thing, burnout with big content creators as well, even with small content creators, but burnout with big content creators is real, no matter how much of a following they have. And it's like, it's still worth making sure they know that you are enjoying what they're putting out, because I think after a while they probably get to a point where they're feeling like they're doing the same thing, or, you know, it's hard to stay original. Yeah, I think it's good to have confirmation no matter who you are, no matter what you're doing. So big thanks for that, man. It definitely it meant a lot. And I just think, I mean, that's the thing, when you sent me that message, did you think like this will mean a lot? Was it kind of just like, oh, Matt will get appreciated? It's like, surely.
Afterwards I got immediately anxious because...
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you were like, oh man, I'd like to have you on the show, and I was like, shit.
Yeah,
like like I was like, I know how this looks. Like, this looks like I'm just trying to fish for a fucking spot on the show. And like, as much as would have loved to have been on the show, I never expected it. So that bothered me. But beforehand, like, you just nailed it, man. I'm really big, especially later in my life. I'm really big on, like, tell someone from the heart how you feel, you know? Yeah. Especially if it's a good thing, because man, I really do believe that some people could do some great things if only somebody gave them some encouragement. Yes, you know? And it just doesn't happen.
There's so many people that just go through their life with just no support, and they could have been someone, dude, but they didn't have. I mean, it is hard. It's fucking hard to do things. Like, there's people that stream on Twitch daily to like almost 0 people, right? And yet they care. I follow a few of them, and they're there every day, no matter what, same time. Like they put in more effort than me. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, these people deserve it. I feel like I need to take a page from my book and make sure they know that I'm liking what they're doing more and more, because that's the thing. Like that little bit of that one message saying, hey, you're doing great, it might change their whole outlook. It might push them to do harder. They might all of a sudden get this burst of inspiration. So yeah, it's powerful. I think people need to remember that. And me talking about it even more so, I'm like, I need to make sure I doubly do that, because it's
yeah. I mean, because what you're doing is not easy, man. And it's, you know what I mean. Like so I just think you're doing a good job, bro.
Bro, thank you so much. And as well, I just like to say, had you actually written physically down well before you even came into my stream, well before I even knew that you knew what my podcast was or anything, I had you written down as one. And I don't have a lot of people written down, but I was like, I've got to get this going because I know he could talk. Like you have that ability. I mean, you had a thing called Free Talk Friday. I don't fully remember exactly. Like I probably caught one or two of them, but what was the go with that? Because you stopped doing that. Or something.
Yeah, just because I'm a student as well, so my schedule changes every semester, and so I have to rearrange my whole Twitch schedule to sort of match that. And Fridays no longer became viable. But yeah, the whole context of Free Talk Friday was like within reason, like let's talk about anything, no judgment on the table, you know, which is a bit racy, but it was good. I loved it.
Yeah, I love that shit too, though. See, that's the thing. I love it when a guest comes on as well, and they're okay with just being open and candid. You know what I mean? It's because that's what people want as well. People want to hear other people's views. They don't want just bubblegum kind of conversation. Like that's the thing I've actually noticed about this podcast as well, is that it goes down a very, like some of these episodes, and no shade to any of my previous guests. I've loved every episode I've had so far. I haven't had a single one where I've been like, that was shit. But I felt like it started going down the path where it was very Twitch focused. Like, hey, so how's your stream going? It was kind of the come up story of Twitch. But it gets to a point where it's the same kind of thing. Yeah. And I like hearing more about the person themselves. You know what I mean? And hearing their opinions, views. And I think that's almost more powerful as a, what's the word, like as a promotion for that person. It's funny, this is my thought on it. Like people can talk about their Twitch all they like on this podcast or any platform that they're given a chance to show themselves and show what they're worth. They can talk about their Twitch and how they've come up and their story and whatnot, all they like. But people don't seem to really vibe on that as much as if you're talking about some like real shit, you know what I mean? Yep. And people go, I fucking respect this dude, I'm gonna follow him. I found people get more traction, the people that come on and talk about just whatever, just a whole bunch of different things, because people know you're a Twitch streamer, you know what I mean? Like people know that already, and I'm learning that.
Your Princess Ash podcast, that was a testament to that. I think that was so much fun to watch, and it was a lot of it was just you guys just chatting, you know, but it just was good. It was really
natural,
I love that.
Just interaction as if we were just having a chat, and that's what I love, dude. I know you're good for that as well. I know you're good for that, and and bringing it full circle.
Yep.
Because I'm still that Ollie Sykes thing though, dude. That's fucking wild. Because I'm a big fan. I'm not as much of a fan of the newer stuff, but that's always how it kind of goes. You know, they change their style, and I always will love their heavier shit. I don't know if you've like listened to much of their stuff. Yeah.
I've not listened to. So they did Pray for Plagues, and then they did an album after that, and
they did Suicide Season.
That's all I've heard. Those two albums.
Oh, bro, they have some bangers after that though, and then they've gone completely like more what's the word, like electronic techno. Yeah, it's interesting. It's good, but it just doesn't grip me as much. But
yeah, right.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those things. Like I'd still, if I met Ollie, even if I don't listen to his shit as much now, bro, it's those kind of people that if I met him, I'd be like, dude, I love your shit. Like I still respect that hustle. Like that guy has, anyone that can really even switch up their style. You know how bands switch up their style, right? And then people like fucking hate them because they switched it up. I'm almost like, holy fuck, that's impressive that you were able to like go from one genre to a whole different genre, or just switch it, like do something completely creatively different. That would be so fucking hard. Like it'd be so much easier to stick with what you know.
Like I feel like
we see your friend in the window. Hello, friend.
Oh wait, they can see you, Laura, in the window. Oh, she's
just in case.
Thanks, babe.
Oh, what a legend! Hey, cameo. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, you're right.
So, I'm like the lizard brain. You know the like that part of me is like, no, be that band that I fell in love with and never ever change. But the rational part of me is like, no, grow. Like that's your job as an artist, man. It's just to grow. And and there are some bands that actually that I kind of give myself the kind of the opposite of the benefit of the doubt. Like, do you know the band Muse?
I do know the band Muse. Yeah,
I used to be really into them, and then
Supermassive Black Hole.
Yeah, when they started to change, I just stopped. And I said, I'm not going to listen to anything else. And I haven't. So in my head, Muse are still that band that even though their new stuff could be fantastic, it's like,
Yeah, look, you do have to wonder away. And look, I appreciate any hustle. You know what I mean? You gotta respect the hustle. And you sometimes go, well, maybe a band is changing more because they see that there's more financial gain in the way of like doing different music. But I think it's just, I mean, the one band I find kind of interesting, that changed up real fucking quick. I don't know if you know the band. Trophy Eyes. They're Australian. You know the band Trophy Eyes?
I've never listened to them, but I have lots of friends who are into them.
Yeah, they started off like super punk, like very like the dude. I can't think of his name. The lead singer, but he had like he was screaming, like it was constant like just gravel, like ugh. Like I loved it. I loved the sound of his voice. Like I'm into that shit. But that was their first album. And then second album was complete like clean vocals, a little bit of gravel, but they switched it up like very quick. So they built up like this fan base of people that loved their passion and the emotion in their music for what it was. And then next album just completely, and I at first I was a bit like, oh, what the fuck? Like I would have liked at least another album of what I was enjoying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to respect that they can switch it up like that. You know what I mean? You got to kind of, you just got to accept it. It's like, and you might not like it, but man, the internet has a way of telling these people, I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, like you see, have you seen like in the when a band changes their shit up, the fucking comment section is like this mass war with like casualties. It's just it's intense, dude. I wonder if that's the same for streamers. Do you reckon streamers have ever had that? Like, do you reckon content, like, surely, it is, because you think about, like, switching up games or something, and then it was like, oh, this motherfucker's not playing Fortnite anymore. And it's like, I mean, it's like anything creative, isn't it? Like, you run that risk.
I think it's 100% true. I've had that with games, definitely. Yeah? Like, I've had months of what I would consider a lot of viewers for one game, and then, you just change game, and they don't want to see it. But, dude, I mean, I don't blame them for that. It's the way it is.
I know, but it's so, the thing with that, because I've had that as well, and it's hard not to kind of go, well, shit, I wasn't good enough. It's just me. Yes. You know what I mean? That's what we go to. That's what the mind goes to. We go, holy shit, was I good enough for you? Like, you're only here for the game, huh? Like, it's crazy because I always kind of think, like, surely people follow for the person, and it's like the game really can deter someone. I always find that kind of weird, but I guess I do that too. Like, someone will play Overwatch and I'm like, well, I really don't want to watch Overwatch, and I might consume a lot of their mental power while they're playing it. So I do get it. I'm like literally like the person I kind of think like, you motherfucker, you know what I mean? But I don't know. It's tricky. I don't think there'll ever be like a real answer to it. I think that's just the way humans are, huh? I think it's like we've got to learn as humans to just roll with it.
I agree, man. Like it's I think a lot about the relationship of us as entertainers and the viewers that we have, and I mean, aside from the fact that I feel very blessed to be able to do it. Like that's a big factor in my decision making sort of thing. I just think that I don't think that there should be any begrudgment for those kind of people. Like they deserve the right to get the kind of entertainment they want, especially in today's society. So if that's not what they want from me, then that's fine.
That is true. And there's a lot out there to watch. There's a lot to consume, and you can't consume it all. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
That's why even with this podcast, I was like, I got to rein this shit in. Like people cannot watch 6 hours a fucking day of my podcast, like or listen to it even. Like I was like, okay,
people do though. People do.
I mean, it's true. Like the Princess Ash one, I was like, people are fucking like they stuck around for like the whole episode, and then the even the YouTube video had like the watch time on it. I was like, holy shit, people are actually watching this from start to finish. I'm like, this is
you said during that podcast as well, you were like, no one's gonna watch this whole thing.
Yeah,
like,
I did. I was
remember.
like, no fucking way is anyone gonna sit through all this, and people did because I can see the watch time.
It was good. That was a great podcast, man. That was like the big one. That was when I messaged you after that.
Yeah, bro. Look,
like, I'd never heard of Ash, and she was great to watch.
Oh, really?
I immediately was like, I got to follow her, check her out. Like, so it works.
Go. Yeah,
it works.
And exactly. And we didn't talk like overly about Twitch. There was a lot of like other stuff we talked. Like it was very heavy on. Well, there's very heavy on the double dick kind of conversation.
There's a lot of dicks,
a lot of double dick conversation. If anyone's curious, I feel free to go sift through that 6.5 hour podcast or whatever it was. I learned a lot that day. I'm just gonna say I learned a lot. I came out of that a changed man. I had no idea there was a guy with 2 dicks. Very, very interesting. Okay, dialing it back. Because the audio, well, any listener is probably like, weren't we going to talk about the face tats? And I'm completely just, bro, I swear I got to change. Distracted. Well, I was, for a while there, I was like, I should change this name of the podcast to The Tangent, because it's just so many tangents. I love it. But
that's a good name.
But I looked up and of course it already is a tangent.
It's taken.
Because everything's already taken, every name. And that's why I used my name, dude, because it's like, honestly, at this point, like, every creative name is kind of like, I mean, I'm sure there's something out there, but something's usually already taken. I mean, even before I started, I had another podcast and I ended up calling it the Cactus Cult Podcast. And I'm pretty sure there was even a Cactus Cult podcast already. It's insane. Like, trying to think of a name these days that's original is the most brutal thing, because you'll be like, oh, that's a great name. You'll be so excited. You'll be out and about, you run your phone like, that's a creative name. Then you go search it up on Google when you get home.
It's taken.
Come on, and it's like it's like 20 people have that name.
Table 1, Table X.
Right, it kills me. I'm thinking like, how are people going to survive in like the next 10 to 20 years? Kids growing up now, I mean, the username economy is broken. Like they're not going to be able to buy, like, you know what I mean? But also Red Ops. I had Red Ops on the podcast, right?
I checked that one out as well.
Oh, dude. Well, the part where he said, because I asked him about his name, because his name is Red Ops 11. I said, about the numbers, would you try and get just the name Red Ops? And he said, well, I found the guy on Twitch that has the Red Ops name. And the guy, I think he offered him...
like 100 or something, was it?
Yeah, it was like maybe $100. I think the guy hustled him for like 1,000. Like crazy. And he was like, fuck that shit. Like, are you kidding me? So yeah, it's just insane. And I think we're going to see a lot of that, like in years to come. I mean, even, who was it? There was someone on Twitter just last night that I saw. Oh, it was that fucking, a guy called Slayer God. He won, I believe he was the winner of the most recent Fortnite. You know, they got the Fortnite World Championships or whatever it is. People, you know, or doing that shit at the moment. I think he won the solos in Australia, which is massive hats off to him. And his name's Slayer God, and he said on Twitter, I really would love to have just the original Slayer name on Twitter. And he actually posted a screenshot of who owns the OG just Slayer, just at Slayer. The guy just has like no followers. I think he's following like one person, has one post. And it's like, and no picture, nothing. Completely, just pretty much a blank account. And it's like, yeah, and if you asked him for it, if he was smart, he'd be like, yeah, I'll sell it to you, dude. Like, I'm not just gonna hand it over. It's like in people that just they take web domains just so they can sell it later. Like, if you're smart, when a new celebrity pops up, you'll buy a domain with their name and you try and buy all their domains, you know, for a cheap price, and you fucking try and hustle them for it later. And people have done that.
I think there was a famous case where there was a person who owned the website wow.com, and Blizzard were like, we'll give you whatever you want, man. Like, we think we've got a game here that's going to change the world. And it did. And I think it was a lot of money. Man, I think they settled for a lot of money, I'm pretty sure. Oh, man,
I can fucking imagine. Yeah, because guarantee someone's going to have wow already as like wow.com or something.
Yeah, wow.com.
Oh, man. Yeah, and they'd want that. Even if they had worldofwarcraft.com, I'm sure they'd want wow. As well, just for the fact that it could be confusing if people are typing in wow.com and it's, I don't know, they wouldn't want it to fuck with their brand.
They want consistency across the board. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude, that is one of those moments where you just don't know what you're sitting on. And then all of a sudden, money just falls into your lap. I mean, oh, God, I'm trying to think. Do I have anything like that? Probably not. I mean,
Bitcoin or anything? Go back a couple of years. We're good.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There was a kid with Bitcoin, and he was just, I guess for the meme, just for a couple of years apparently. Like, he wasn't even that old. I think he was still like a teenager, like 17, maybe 16. But he'd been just throwing a bit of money at Bitcoin here and there, just buying Bitcoin like once in a blue moon. And he accrued like a decent little amount, and it was worth nothing until the fateful day where it just blew the fuck up, and he cashed that shit in, and he was he made hundreds of thousands of dollars off it. And I thought, well, there's a house right there, house and a car, and you said just focus on your bills
that's
now.
That's a launching pad, eh?
Bro, I was just thinking, I was like, if I had a time machine, dude, if I had a time machine, I'd go back and you know what? I'd step on a fucking cockroach by accident, and I'd be like, I wouldn't realize, and all of a sudden I'd be like, dead. I'd be like, oh no, well, bro, even worse, Bitcoin wouldn't blow up. I'm kidding. But no, like honestly, I'd pray I'd kill a fly and then not think anything of it, and I'd be like, all right, so it's a day, it's 10 minutes away from when Bitcoin blew up. I'm watching the stocks. I'm like, okay, here we go. Stocks are about to blow up, and then it doesn't happen. I'm like, wait, what's going on? I'm like, what did I change? I'm like, I killed a fly. That shit interests me to no end. Like, it's like the whole sliding doors thing that you can. That one little moment in your life, one decision can change wildly the entire rest of your life. And I believe it. One small decision can alter the entire shape of the rest of your life. It can be whether you end up wearing potato sacks in a little hut in the outback, or if you're living in a mansion in bloody LA somewhere. I don't know if that's my dream, but that's the thing, you know what I mean? With 1,000 Teslas, it's like kind of crazy. I mean, do you feel like you've had a moment ever?
Yeah,
where
but on the flip, I've had moments where if I didn't make the decision I made, I wouldn't be here. I think I'd be dead, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
What's like an example of like a?
So a real mundane one was I was camping in the bush at French Island, which is this little island in Victoria, and all my friends went four-wheel driving, and I fell asleep in the van, and our campfire, it spilled over, and it turned into a 100-acre bushfire that I was in the middle of, and I woke up to my friends like, we need to go.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, there was like this fork in the path, and I followed my friend up one path, and it was like a movie, man. Like, he ran through this grass bush, and then as he did, like, the flames just roared through it, and it just created a wall I could not get through. So I had to double back and run back towards the center of the flames and run around. And then I got to another bit that was cut off, and I just had to basically pull my shirt over and just run through the flames. And I did, and we got out of there, and yeah, we panicked, and it was terrible. It was a 100-acre fire. It burned down half the island. It was crazy.
Oh my God.
And do you know what? French Island has a population of like 300 people. It's massive. The fire brigade, they're all run by the civilians who live there. And they're all country, good old country dudes.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting at the jetty, like, traumatized. They rock up on the back of the bloody fire truck, like, oh, why didn't you stick around? It was grouse. You should have put out the flames with us. And we're just like, we nearly died.
It's very like, they're like, something exciting finally. Like, oh, here we go. This is exciting. Oh my God, dude, that's wild. That's fucking insane.
Apparently we burnt down a dude's weed crop, though. He had like acres of weed, and we burnt it down.
That's kind of, you know what? If you're going to have a weed crop somewhere, you'd go to a like little remote island, wouldn't you?
Like bloody oath.
So wait, so people live there.
Yeah.
But there'd be no real there'd be law, but there'd be a real lack of there wouldn't be police there, right?
But they trade gasoline for weed there. Like, that's like a big commodity on French Island is weed. I mean, I'm not going to name names. I know people there. But yeah, it's a big thing there. It's just a small little community.
Oh, man.
The only access is by ferry.
What a life, huh? Like, have you ever thought, sometimes you're like, I'll just pack up this whole digital age and just move somewhere like that. Just fuck it right off, you know what I mean? I'm sure they still have, internet, or, I mean, do they have internet? Is that, a thing? Like, surely they're not, that out of it, right? I mean, but electricity and shit, I'm sure it's limited.
They got electricity,
I'm sure it's, limited to, man, it's I've thought that though. I've had times where I'm just like, fuck this. I'd love to just go live on an island. Just live that island life, dude. Where it's maybe a bit simpler, less stresses. You maybe you fend for yourself a bit more. But at the same time, I'd probably go crazy, dude. And then I've got bloody tourists going burning my house down, my weed crops down. So man, I don't think I've ever had a near-death experience.
Yeah?
I don't think I've ever had one. And I'm like, is that I mean, what even is the close? I can't even think of anything. I guess I'm lucky. I've never had even anything close. I mean, that must be pretty crazy. That must be a little bit, like, slightly life-changing or eye-opening in some way to be like, I could have died, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, surely something in your head has to kind of change after that and go, wow.
Yep, definitely.
Life looks so different now. I've got a whole new outlook.
Yeah, I had a few moments in life that really changed me, like fundamentally just made me pivot on who I wanted to be and how I treat people and stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Well, what's kind of the go? Yeah, what's the, what were the turning points? What was it like? What was Table like before the turning points? Was there like, were you a bit of a
I guess this kind of ties in with the
rough kid?
It kind of ties in with the face tattoos.
Yeah, because we still haven't got. It's almost like going to be like at the end of the episode, it's like a movie.
Yeah, the face tattoo.
You're telling the story, and then yeah.
Yeah, no, like, look, if I'm being honest, if I was to try and observe myself as an outsider and try and give it to you as sort of raw as I can, like when I was young, when I was from sort of 15 to maybe 18, like I was a bad kid. I was a really stupid kid, and I did a lot of stupid things, and I got in with a lot of bad people, and yeah, and I think they were the kind of life decisions that I've seen people who were there didn't get out of, and those people are either in prison or dead now, sort of thing. Yeah, and like, yeah, it's like it's not a woe is me thing. Like it's something I actually look back at. It's like it crafted who I am. Yeah. But like, yeah, like I was stupid. I was a stupid kid, and I did stupid things. Now I don't like during that age. Bad things happened, and that's why I got the face tattoo. So if you want to know, so
yeah,
like, okay, so the government decided that when I was 15, me and my mum weren't really compatible together because she was a single mom and stuff. So they emancipated me and put me in with my auntie, who wasn't really cool with my mum either, but she kind of fostered us.
Wow.
And so we lived with her, and then she ended up getting cancer of the lungs and brain. And she did really well. She had this like groundbreaking surgeon work on her, and he did a lot of work, but she unfortunately passed away. And I was probably 17 at the time, and she passed away in front of us. So it was like, wow. Like I learned now that it was pretty traumatizing. At the time, like I didn't. Like, I mean, at the time it was brutal, but yeah, it was pretty traumatizing.
Maybe. Yeah, it's like weird as kids we don't maybe feel the impact of it as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned it because with therapy, like I can't watch like body horror movies anymore. And I used to love it as a kid. I used to be like, yes,
body horror,
like Saw and stuff like that.
Yeah, I struggle with that shit too. Yeah,
it makes me feel weird.
Yeah, but
she always, like, I was doing singing lessons at the time because she always like encouraged me to do the things that I liked. And one day she was like, I was home alone, so I was getting in some singing practice. And she snuck in and she heard me and I didn't know. And then I came out embarrassed as all hell. And she was like, she's like, you know what? She's like, you are an ace of spades. Like you are the standout in the deck of cards. You need to hang on to that. And so when she passed away, I kind of went through this big philosophical thing of like, well, she was a good woman and her life was taken from her. So it could happen to anyone. So
yeah,
I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like I'm going to wear that on my face and yeah. So it was, she got me out of that. And then from there it was pivotal. It was like, because of that, and around the time I got the tattoo, I was like, man, I need to cherish relationships with people, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. That's some meaning, man. That's some like thick meaning behind that tattoo. It's like funny because you see people with tats and you just don't know what the meaning could be behind it. Like, and that's a full on story. Like that's a lot. Like,
yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, like it's like everyone has their own hardships, you know?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I've never felt like I've had it hard. Like I don't tell that story like woe is me. It's just, it's looking back on it honestly, there's some rough things and I dealt with them roughly, but they sculpted who I am.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. I think you see a lot of people that have gone through a lot of hardship. I mean, obviously there's real choice to make, whether how you take those life experiences and how you apply them to your life. Some people obviously don't apply them in the best possible way, but maybe they don't seek the help that they possibly need. That's partly also the problem. But you know, you see certain people and they just use it. They take their the bad that's happened in their life, and they just kind of run with it, and they're like, well, you know, that's all I'll ever be good for, and blah blah blah, and they kind of get down a dark path. But you've obviously gone completely the opposite way and used it for good, and you've used it to be a stronger version of yourself. And
I mean, I'm still getting there as well. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still getting. I'm not.
Do you think it would be saying that is like it's a constant process? I mean, it's like, do you think there's ever an end kind of result, or do you think it's saying that you have to kind of nurture for a long time to come? I mean, I'm sure there'd always be that something underlying there that you'd have to battle with or work with.
Yeah, like it's because that thing, it sprung, it echoed out into other problems because I was emancipated and because she passed away, her estate, which she was just lived a life of debt and all that sort of stuff, but her estate was passed on to my foster brother and everybody else. So we suddenly had to learn how to be adults, and we didn't. We did not learn how to be adults. We just struggled by. And so that's when we made a lot of stupid decisions and stuff. And I feel like it's only in the last sort of 5 years of my life, so to speak, that like what it was is I think I could have gone down a bad path, you know, of just staying a drug addict and a life of crime and stuff like that. But it took, and I think this goes back to the whole encouragement thing. It took somebody to sort of say to me, you are not, like, you can be anybody you want to be. You know what I mean? Like now's your chance. Now you can build something. Those people you look up to in the suits or that have a business or that have a family and stuff, that can be you. You have every right to be that person. You've got to start building that life. And so that's why it's like later in life. So it's later in life that I started to walk down that path. And so that's what I mean when I say, like, I feel like I'm still doing it, is because I've only been practicing this sort of attitude for 5 to 8 years, I'd say, you know?
Wow. That's insane, man. What a fucking story, though.
Yeah, it's a good story, I think. So bless her. Her name was Maria, by the way, so shout out to Maria.
Fucking shout out to Maria. That's I mean, that's the thing. Do you reckon she ever knew the impact those words had? I mean, did she pass shortly after she said, you know, those impacting words to you, or because
within the year, I'd say, or a year or two.
I mean, what a thing to leave someone with, though. I mean, that's the thing, man. Words are powerful as fuck. Even like what we were saying before, just saying, you know, a word of encouragement to someone can change the whole outlook for a certain amount of time. But that's the thing. I mean, our words are so strong. We don't fucking realize that. Like that one thing that we can say to someone, like, we might not think will make a difference, but hey, there's no harm in saying something to someone that just encourages, or to tell someone what you really think, to be honest with someone, to be open with someone. And we're so closed off these days, and I think we need to make sure that we, you know, tell our loved ones we love them, and also make sure we encourage them, and also try and help steer them in the right direction. Whether they take the advice or not, I think it's important, you know.
I agree.
You give them that choice. But so you said getting face tats is a stupid idea.
Yeah.
I mean, do you regret that Ace of Spades tattoo? I don't know if that's like a dumb question. I feel like you shouldn't.
It's not a dumb question.
At that point,
no,
I mean,
like, I don't regret it. Do you know, actually, I always say to people, I wish I'd never gotten face tats, or I wish I'd gotten tons more. Right. Because if I had tons more, especially in today's society, like, you're an interesting, you know what I mean? Like every celebrity these days, Post Malone, and I've just got these little tiny ones that you're like, oh, wait a minute, does he? Or it's kind of a joke, but no, I don't regret it. It's like, I was actually going to ask you before. You said that.
Okay.
I've had this conversation a lot with people because I used to work as a body piercer, so I was in the tattoo industry for a long time. Yeah, and I've met a lot of people and talked to them about tattoos, and there's people who would never get one, people who would wait their whole life to get one, people who would just get anything. If you were to say trip tomorrow, and I hope you don't, touch wood, and you were to say scar your knee, like you tripped and you cut, and it was a permanent scar, would you feel like kind of like, oh shit, like I've marked myself?
Good question. Fucking great question. I actually have one on my elbow right now. I don't know if you can see it right there.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I actually did that on stream. Funny enough, I was skating on one of my IRL streams, and I fucking came off my skateboard and just completely threw my phone across the road and everything. And yeah, so that left a nice one on me. And yeah, I kind of like, that to me doesn't bother me, weirdly enough. Because I think...
I don't think they're the exact same. Like, it's a bit of a weird equivalent.
No. But I like this question, but I have one on my thumb, right? which I cut my thumb open, a scar on my thumb. I cut it open when I was at work a long time ago trying to move like this steel drum. And I didn't realize it was kind of serrated on the inside. It was very heavy. And I tried to like pivot it. My thumb just went slice on the inside of it. And just cut it open. I was bleeding everywhere. And it never healed properly. And it left like a weird kind of feeling on my thumb. And I hate that. I hate that it's there and I can't ever get rid of it because it feels weird.
Right.
So I know it's kind of a different thing, but I guess you run that risk of getting. I mean, you choose to get a tattoo, so that's obviously the thing. But yeah, I have thought that like you scar your skin. I think scars to me tell a story. You know what I mean? That's. I mean, not that tattoos don't, but like I look at all my scars that I've gotten because I was a pretty active kid. Like I have like scars all over my knuckles and whatnot from doing just fun activities and stuff like that. And I actually like them. I have scars on my leg, like from my unicycle days, like getting, where you land on one pedal and the other pedal comes up and bear traps your calves, your shin out a bit because we had big pins for grip. And I have like big dents in my leg, and I like them because they show a time in my life. I look at them and it's almost like a memory that's actually carved into my body, which sounds weird. I'm sure I wouldn't want like a fucking scar that's like whoop straight across my face or anything, because that would be a little bit too much of a memory. But yeah, like so.
I feel the same with a lot of my tattoos. Yeah, they feel like scars to me. They feel like that time and place and where I was, because some of them are stupid, man. Like my whole left leg is just covered in shit. Like
really,
swear words.
Oh really?
I got a penis tattooed on there. That one of the dudes in your audience actually tattooed the penis on my leg.
Really?
Yeah, I got names. I just got all sorts of weird shit on that. But it's my I love that leg. It's terrible tattoos, but I love it.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why that scar question is a great fucking question, because I do think about that. I'm like, really, if I got a tattoo, I'm sure I'd love it because it would signify a time in my life. Like it wouldn't even have to mean anything in the image of it. It would just have to mean something in the time and place that I was in when I got it. I think it just depends. I mean, I just think when I was a kid, if I probably would have gone like a Pikachu on my arm. So I'd look at it now and be like, like, do I really want them? So it's like, because I know I always change, you know what I mean? Like I can change my fashion if I, slowly develop and, but at the same time, they say, once you hit like 25, your frontal lobe or some shit, your brain like is fully developed and you're pretty much who you're going to be. So at that point, you're probably not going to be changing your mind on like stuff as much as if kids are to get a tattoo when they're like maybe 18, and then like as soon as they can, like, I can get a tattoo, and then they grow up a little bit more and they go, I don't know if I like this anymore. Which I'm sure plenty of younger kids have gotten tattoos at 18 and still love it, and that's totally fine. But you just run that risk of change. You're still developing. You don't know what you like as much.
Man, I respect it. Like I've met a lot of people with your point of view, and I've met millions of points of views on tattoo, like as in for their own tattoo, not their views, but their own. Like I know people who, if I'm going to call it, they will get their first tattoo when they're 50, and it'll be like at the end of their, the last act of their life sort of thing. Yeah. Because to them, it's just this really beyond sacred thing where it has to be perfect. And I respect that. I'm jealous of that because I don't have that, man. You could tattoo me right now. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, really. If someone came to you right now and said, hey, can I tattoo? I mean,
if they meant a lot to me, sure. Yeah. Anyone.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, how covered are you? I mean, because you've got quite a, have you got?
I've got a lot of space.
You got a lot of space?
Like I've got my right arm, my neck, my tummy, my left leg, my left arm, and my foot. That's it.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how many I have though. A lot of people always ask, how many do you have? I actually don't know. And it's not like I don't know how many tattoos I have. It's just like you don't keep count after like 20, you know? You just like
So the question is as well, because you said your left leg is the one that has, your favorite leg, and it has all kind of the stuff that's a little bit weird, but at the same time it holds memories and value. But have you ever had a moment where, like, say you've got like a dick on your leg or something? I'm sure it's small. But have you ever had a moment where you're wearing shorts and you're a bit like unsure about like being in public or something? Like, I think it's like, obviously I'd sit down and pray, have a good laugh and be like, that's awesome. But I know that some of the older generation could be like, when I had Red Ops on the podcast, he offered to buy a lady a coffee, like an older lady, maybe like late 40s, something like that. I think she left her purse at home or some shit. So he's like, oh, I'll pay for it. And she actually said, I would never accept anything from you. And he's like, what do you mean? She's like, someone that would abuse their body the way you have, something like that. And she was really weird. He said he felt really odd about it. She just treated him like dirt because even though he offered to buy her a coffee, just out of the blue, out of the goodness of her heart, and she turned around and just completely was...
What a bitch.
Yeah, I know. And it's like...
That's fucked.
Yeah, it's actually mind-blowing to think that someone can be like that. Like, it's insane. But, I mean, there's so many crazy people on this planet. But, I mean, have you ever had anything like that? I'm guessing not with that reaction. Have you never had someone, like, kind of pull you up and be like, hey, what's with the dick on the leg? You know what I mean? Like...
So with the dick, no. The only time I ever thought about it... Really. Well, so... I guess two then. First, like, my missus once pointed out, she was like, what if you're wearing shorts at, like, a kid's pool, because it's on my inner thigh. And she's like, what if you're wearing shorts at a kid's pool, like, around kids or something? And I was like, that's a good point. But, like, I just don't think, you know what I mean? It's so obscure and it's hidden amongst 1,000 other tattoos that... And it's I just don't think it's ever going to be a problem.
You know what the funny thing is,
stupid.
Though? Do you know what the funny thing is? A dick's a dick. It's like, it's literally like a part of the human anatomy. And it's like, we're all like, oh, not the dick, get it out of here. You know what I mean? Like it's this like heinous, like creature that we mustn't look into, otherwise we'll explode. It's like, it's so funny. Yeah. I had a friend, right? I had a friend who had no tattoos. Actually, it was a friend's brother. Actually, the friend was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but his brother got a tattoo one night. He was drunk, and he was backyard job, so maybe not the best decision when you're drunk to be like, tattoo me. But he said apparently his friend had a tattoo machine. He's like, hey, give me a tattoo. They're like, what do you want? He's like, I want a big dick all down my arm. Just give me a dick straight down my arm. But the funny part of that story, I love how he tells the story, because he's like, nah, but I got really good friends, so they just did this, and it's like a fucking elephant, but its trunk is a dick on his bicep. But this guy fucking works out, so he says he's at the gym, and he'll be like, and guys will pass and be like, what the fuck is on your arm? So he's just got this fucking elephant, like, and it looks like a 2-year-old drew it, dude. It's like so bad. It's like really like bad with this really weird looking dick as a trunk. It's so good. But I love that. Like, I fucking love that. Cool, man.
Like it's like he probably, you know what I mean? Like, society would make you feel like, wow. But it's like, there's a part of me that's just like, nah, man, life is so transient, you know? Yeah. The laughs that we're having around that's what makes it worth it, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day when you're on your deathbed. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, we're not taking the body with us, and really, the body. Like, people put so much emphasis on the body. I mean, like, really, like, it's very easy to. I mean, people judge people very quickly on appearance. They'll look at someone and they'll be like, "This guy's an idiot," but you do not know, like, a person to give them the time of day and talk to them, you know what I mean? But it's so easy to do. It's so easy to fucking, like, look at someone and be like, yeah, they're not my kind of person, or this and this. I've made that mistake so many times. I say a mistake because then later down the track I've been like, I've been missing out. This guy's amazing, or this girl's amazing. You know what I mean? And it's insane that we allow that. But it's the same with tattoos. It's like, you know, so many people, you know, get judgment over tattoos and whatnot. I've watched these YouTube videos of these guys that get the full face tattoo, which I think in my mind is pretty full on. But I wouldn't. But at the same time, I go, fuck it, dude. It's their life. I'm not going to, like, I would, if anything, I'd be curious about it. I'd be willing to ask them about it, which probably they'd hate because they get it all the time. They're like, I'm a person, God damn it. But at the same time, it's like, I wouldn't judge them for it. But I watched a video of a guy who wasn't the most likely candidate for like, he had a full bodysuit and the head was like, fucking just completely done. And he's like, when I'm just trying to buy my eggs at the shop, I wish people didn't like, delivery. Oh, is this Fiend?
No, this isn't Fiend.
Oh, I thought it was for a minute. No. Wait, how many people do you have living with you?
Oh, I have one person living with me, but they all came from the tequila tasting, so they're still like, It's a big convoluted
window.
thing.
Blurry window.
There, yeah. Oh, this is white wine. Okay.
I mean, I feel like everyone just has long hair. I feel like I should have kept my long hair, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to grow it long. I'm trying. Sorry,
Yeah,
I forget about the reflection. I don't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, it's totally fine, dude. Totally fine. If anything, it's nice to have a couple of little cameos. It's like, hey.
No, that's Taco. That's he features on my stream a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was in the chat a little earlier. Wait, you got some minions working hard for you right now. You bringing the wine.
It's past, like, my regulars usually are well in bed by now too. So
really?
I appreciate that. I appreciate people
Hell
showing up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. People are keen to hang. Actually, I feel like I'm going to say this is I shouldn't say it. So far, this is my favorite podcast. I'm just saying it. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to like make it weird. I don't make it weird, but I'm loving the vibe, dude. I got to say it.
Too, man. Let me be like, okay, so you talked about how we met, yeah? You know, we met.
Yeah.
Back in PAX. So I don't want to go too much off on tangents here because I love it when you just steer me. You steer people in direction.
You steer me. You can steer me, dude, all you like. I love it.
But a big problem, and I've talked about it on Twitter a while ago, a big problem I've had is like, yes, I do think that I like to try and be a confident person. And I'm pretty confident in who I am. And that's been a big, long battle. And it's a constant battle that you have to fight to maintain
Absolutely,
yeah. But I'm actually am shyer than I think I put out there if I was to honestly advertise myself. So like we met and then I never really talked to you again. And I hate that. I really hate that. I hate that it took me to see your content for me to reach out again and feel like, if I'm being honest with myself, it's because I feel like I saw how approachable you were in your podcast and I was like, oh shit, like he's not this unapproachable guy.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like I've been like that with a lot of people in Twitch.
I honestly can say I'm the same though. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think it's a lot of people would have that same vibe.
I'm nervous to talk to people, you know? Yeah. And then you talk to people and they find out they're amazing and they are interested in what you're doing and they want to find, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and that's the thing. Like I'm at the point where I kind of go, because in a month, a lot for me has changed. Because as soon as I said I'm going to start this podcast, I was like, I have to hit people up. And yeah, I can hit up the people I know decently well, but it's going to get to a point where I'm going to have to hit up people I haven't talked to as much. I'm going to have to say, hey, can you come on my podcast? Are you keen? And I expected a lot of knockbacks because that's how your mind goes. You're like, oh, these people won't want to be on it. They don't know who I am. They don't care. But I've barely had a single person. Like I've had maybe a handful, and if anything, it's usually just that they can't do it just at the minute. And it might be just a nice way of saying, oh, not really down, and that's fine. I respect even just letting me down gently. You know what I mean? Prefer that over like not getting any hit back at all. But that's really opened my eyes to the fact that people are just so accommodating, and they're so open to say hi at least, or say, hey, thanks for the offer. So even in a month, like the amount of people I've hit up and talked to, it's changed my whole perspective on, because I think I was the same. I was a little bit like, oh, like, I don't know, are they approachable? And I'm at the point where I'm like, I have no fucking choice. I need to hit people up and like ask if I like their shit. I've got it. This is the point. I've got to say, I got to let them know and say, hey, I like your shit. Can you be on my podcast? Whereas before, I think I just enjoy it from a distance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That being forced to do it though, like, do you feel like that's been good?
Yeah.
Me too. It's whenever you pushed.
Oh, dude, I think sometimes you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. I think we get so complacent. I know for me, bro, I get complacent in so many things in life. And sometimes it comes down to the point where you just go, fuck it. I'm going to force myself to do it. And the best way to do it is make yourself accountable. Like I said, like this podcast keeps me accountable because I book guests. And then no matter how I'm feeling on the day, if I'm feeling a little bit nervous, I'm like, well, no choice. I said 5 o'clock.
It's go time.
The guest is like coming on. I cannot bail on this. And I never will. So I'll rock up and I do it. But like I said, I haven't had I've had a few days where I've been a bit like, oh, a little bit nervous. But I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't do it. I'm too nervous. It's like I have to. You know what I mean? So I get in, I get it done. And the time that I've set forces me to just jump on and make it happen. There's no procrastinating, no delaying. And then it also comes down to, like I know that if I don't get on the point where I'm booking guests, then I'm going to end up with a week of no guests, and I'm going to feel like I failed, but 2, people are probably going to be like, oh, Matt dropped the ball this week, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like there's an accountability to myself and to people that are enjoying the podcast to go, yeah, I need to hit people up and book them. So I force myself to go, all right, it might be a little bit nerve-wracking. I've hit partners up, like a couple of partnered streamers, and they've all said yes. I haven't had a partnered streamer knock me back yet. And I would have never, before I started the podcast, I would have thought they would have never fucked with my shit. And the fact that they've all said, sure, dude, yeah, that sounds great. And I'm like, holy shit. Do a little dance in the room when it happens, when they say yes, you know what I mean? You're like, fuck.
If I was to predict, man, like without doing what you do, I honestly feel like that's going to be less of a problem than you might think. From an outsider's perspective, because like you know what I mean? It's like, how do I put this? Like, it's a genuine human thing. I don't feel like it's the same way you hit me up. It's not like you're like this corporation that's like, hey, we have this deal and this is the views you'll get and this is the views I'll get and this is. You're just like, hey, man, I got this good show where I talk to people. Do you want to come talk to me?
Exactly.
Like, that's just human. That's cool.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's what I love about it. I love that it's just so chill and there's no numbers being thrown around. I mean, I don't feel like I have even the numbers to throw around. That's the thing. I could say, hey, yeah, like people enjoy it, like they seem to. So, and it seems to go pretty well. Do you want to be on it? But I think, fuck it. I'm just gonna say, hey, you know, if I feel like if they've seen my shit, I know they've seen my shit, I kind of just go, hey, do you want to be on it? Or if I don't know, if
you hate numbers.
Oh, dude, I try and avoid.
You talked about this, Ash,
I've started looking at my stats after the stream a little bit because I think it is good to see if because that's how I kind of go, all right, well, maybe during this point, we talked a lot about Twitch. I noticed that maybe there was a bit of a drop off. Then we talked about dicks, the fucking views were
goes up.
Like, and because I'm like, okay, people like a bit more of the random shit. People like a bit more of like some weird shit. And I love weird shit as well. I love just talking about some stuff. I like learning about new things.
Me too.
I think I need to keep it fresh for myself as well. I need to be like having new experiences with people. I think if I'm always talking about Twitch, it's like, you're like, yeah, but we already know about it. Most of my viewers have heard the Twitch stories, you know what I mean? So I think it's, yeah, dude, I think, look, I think getting back to the main thing as well, I think you gotta force yourself sometimes to go out of your comfort zone. And I think the best way to do it, if anyone's ever wondering, find a way to hold yourself accountable, like announce it. Fucking announce it and make sure you stick to it, and people will start. The more you do it, the more accountable you become, but also the more you'll just get into a rhythm and a schedule.
That's one of my methods, man. Just commit to something on the spot, and then you got to do it.
You got to do it because people will.
Mates, what are you doing in 3 weeks? Well, I guess I'm doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Put it down the calendar.
Yep, and whether you feel it or not, and you know what, I've actually find sometimes like I don't always like to make plans well ahead of time, like with friends. But if I ever have, for whatever reason, because it's hard to get hold of a friend or saying, I can go, okay, like maybe in a week or two, we'll, you know, this day and time we'll hang out. And I plan it, and then I get to the day, I'm like, I really don't feel like doing that. But it's always the case, you kind of go, I don't fucking feel like doing that. And you kind of force yourself to go out, and you love it. It's like one of those things, you know what I mean? And you're glad that you did it. And it's like, that's the thing. You wouldn't have had that experience if you'd just kind of been like, you know what I mean? It's like holding yourself accountable. That's how moments are made. That's how we grow. That's how we learn new things. It's like you hold yourself accountable and you get it done instead of procrastinating. I'm a big fucking procrastinator, like the biggest one out there. So I need to like have that accountability, and this is like the best way to do it. That's the thing on Twitch. Like, I mean, to stick to a schedule. People start rocking up at the same time. I'm still fucking struggling with getting here at 4 p.m. to chat for like an hour before the podcast. But if I'm there, you know, roughly around the same time, people rock up. And I've noticed when I've kept like a dead set, like I get there like the minute I'm supposed to on stream. After like a week or so, if I'm like a minute late, people are like late, like spamming the chat. And I'm like, fuck off, are you kidding me? And I'm like, it holds me accountable. And I start rushing to get on stream. Like it's a panic because I'm like, I'm gonna be late, and they're gonna hold me to it. And so it's if you wanna grow, like have some discipline to start, and it'll get easier because you'll one get adjusted to the schedule, but also people will fucking be at your throat if you don't keep to it. You know what I mean? So And at this point as well, I should say with the podcast, if I ever did want to skip, if I ever felt inclined to be like, oh, I don't know if I feel like doing the podcast, and I had a guest that was going to come on, it's honestly at that point just easier to do the podcast than have to like compose a message.
Go through.
I'm so sorry, dude, and feel the guilt and shit. It's like so. It's the best thing, man. Best fucking thing. I'm actually curious as well because we talked about. I know I don't want to harp on the face tats, but bro, I still need to know about the.
I'm an open book, man. Bro, you can I'm yours.
The three dots. Ollie Sykes. You did. I don't know. You probably did it first. You probably did it before.
I did.
But I've seen it a few places. Does it have a particular meaning? Because I
got it, it was a Spanish thing, and it means mi vida loca, and it my crazy life. And
I have heard that before.
Yeah, and it was it was well after the first one. So like at that stage, I was living a pretty crazy life. So I was like, let's do it. But it's silly. Dude. That one doesn't have as big a meaning as the first.
Yeah,
I don't regret it. I still don't regret it.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Regret is like, what's the point? They're there now. Here's the thing, right? Here's something I want to ask, and then this is the last tattoo question. Yep. But apparently there's a big rise in tattoo removal at the moment. Apparently the tattoo removal places are making bank right now because a lot of people are trying to get shit removed. Is there anything you would remove? Like,
I'd remove that and get it done again better. Because it's poorly done, and over the years. It's kind of like blurred under the skin.
Yeah, right.
So a lot of people, especially from a distance, I work as a bartender, so I'm in the dark a lot. And a lot of people are like, man, have you really got a teardrop on your face? Like,
oh, shit.
Working here? And I'm like, they go, have you killed someone? And my favorite answer to that is that the right question to be asking me?
Oh, shit.
You really think I've killed someone? Yeah. Like, should you be asking me that?
Yeah. Do you want to know the answer?
I'd get it removed and get that done again.
Yeah, right. Dude, it looks painful. I've seen the videos. Something about watching laser tattoo removal videos. It's like weirdly uncomfortable, weirdly relaxing at the same time. That weird zapping shit, and then like all the crusty white skin. Like, have you?
Yeah, it's weird.
So weird. I don't know how the fuck it works, dude. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
but like,
I don't know the logistics. I have a friend who owns a tattoo removal shop, but
really,
I don't know how it works. I just seen her videos, and it's like, Jesus Christ,
dude. There was that guy, that YouTuber. What's his name? FusiTube. Do you remember?
Yep, Fusi. Yeah, Fusi.
And he lost all his hair he had lost it a long time ago. But I guess he wanted to get the hairline. You know how some people. So he got it tattooed. He got like his head tattooed to give the illusion that it had hair follicles. And it was done so bad. He looked like a Star Trek character, dude. He had like this. No! The hairline was like really fucking. Dude,
he got like Drake's like.
Oh man,
like Drake's hairline.
It was.
By the way, for the record, you can ask me about tattoos as much as you want, man. Like this,
dude.
I don't mind.
I know, but it's that weird thing of like I don't want to push it. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like, dude. I'm so because I don't.
You got to come on your podcast looking like this, like fuck. Jesus.
I don't think you're getting away about me asking about these gold fronts as well. But I want to make sure.
Yeah, true. I should go get them wherever they are.
Oh yeah. If you got them, dude, I want to fucking. I want to see. I got so many questions because I've thought about it. I'm like that could be pretty funny to just have some gold fronts. But they.
Hey everybody.
On paper, trust me, the irony is not lost on me, and for everyone in chat. Because I know how I appear to people off the bat.
Okay.
Like the irony is not lost on me that I'm a white dude from Melbourne with face tattoos and gold teeth. Trust me.
So like that's the thing though. Like, does it matter? Like, is there a thing?
White?
Yeah. Like, do people ever say that it does matter? And like with gold fronts and shit, do they say? Because surely it's not like gold fronts aren't a form of like cultural appropriation. They're fucking gold teeth. You know what I mean? Yeah. Surely that's not. You know, people get.
Well, I know where the culture came from. It started with the Slavs because they had to, when they were migrating, they would get frisked down for everything. So they'd put all their jewelry in their teeth. They'd get gold teeth, and you couldn't take them out. So that's where like the first recording of.
So they melt down their gold and swap their teeth out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Shout out to the Slavs.
And then somehow it turns into a just another fashion piece. It's weird.
Well, now, long down the track.
It's so weird how shit like that happens, though. Stuff that was like, I'm trying to think of like another case of it. I know there are cases, even probably cloves that wear it to some degree, start off as maybe some sort of like dark ages shit or something.
Probably.
And then it turns into like a fashion thing. I mean,
well, come on, you know a smelter? You're going to be like, hey, chuck some of that, you know, fuck
like,
it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, that's wild, but it is kind of flashy at the same time. You're wearing gold on your teeth. Like, that's some shit right there. Because I know you... Oh, no, yeah. So no.
Oh, just, it's like my favorite thing is like you were saying gold on your teeth. I remember like Taco in chat, he probably wants me to tell this story. I remember a guy once at a bar. He's like, "Is that gold in your teeth?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I'm a short guy, if you can't tell.
I think we're about the same height. Actually.
I think we're the same height. Yeah. And he was like,
"What are you talking about?"
He was like, "Mate, what's to stop me from taking that from you?" And I was like, without hesitating, I was like, "Me." And he was like, "Good answer."
Damn. Yeah, that's like the call the bluff kind of moment. You know what I mean? Like, come get it, bitch. It's like that. What's that movie? There's a fucking movie. I love. Oh god, I think it might be Sex Drive. It's got that. It's a movie called Sex Drive, and they go on a. It's like kind of a teen movie, but it's.
I've seen
modern.
it. I think I have.
And they go on. I think they go on a drive for this kid to lose his virginity. Somebody met on the internet or something like that. And I think it's that movie. And there's like a real nerdy kid in it. He's a little bit overweight. He's like, you know, looks pretty nerdy. He wears like nerdy glasses and whatnot. But he's like a fucking hard ass. Like he looks like an outward appearance, but he's just like takes no shit from no one. He's like just talks shit to everyone. And there's a point where he goes to jail, and there's like a big dude that comes on. He's like, "Hey, bitch," and he's like, "What the fuck you say to me?" And the guy's like, "Whoa," and then it cuts later, and he's like all hanging out with them, and they're like, "Yo, what's up, dude?" He's like, "Yeah, what's good?" He's like doing the handshakes with his shit, and it's like because he just called the bluff. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of like true in a way. Like it's like in a situation where I don't know what's the thing with that. If someone, I'm trying to think, if someone came at me. And they're all aggressive. So I'm in the city or something by myself. Someone comes at me and like, "Yo, what's up, you fucking little," you know? And should I go, "Sorry, sir, I won't happen again," even though you know what? And I'm like walking backwards because that's the sign of being alpha. Walking backwards away from the situation. Or should I go, "What'd you say, motherfucker?" That's not okay. What did you say? I can do this. What? Hey, motherfucker! What did you say? Maybe if you don't even put a voice, that's the thing. It's like, what do you say, motherfucker? Like I don't know. Like how do you what's the best situation in that? Like should you try and bluff or should you try and like pleasant your way out of it? It's like almost if you just try and act pleasant, you just show weakness and you just pray to get your ass kicked, or just be like, square up, motherfucker! Like act crazy.
Some people
will,
man. Some people will be like, "You're definitely a target." I think.
Yeah,
they'll just think, well, I can easily rob this guy sometimes. But like at the same time, I don't want to be on the like, fucking like don't punch, you know? Like
come on, right here's your target, man, and then actually doing you're dead. It's one of those things. It's like, oh boy, what do you do? Have you ever been in a situation like that? Have you ever been in like a like where someone's come at you like and you've kind of gone, how do I get out of this?
Yeah,
like,
definitely. Yeah, a few times.
Yeah, what was the escape plan in something like that? Like what's like?
Well, I mean, I've had situations where I've ran, no shame. I
feel like that would have to be my thing. Just like get the fuck out of there.
I ran like you were like trust.
Usain Bolt, like
I am fast, man. Like I've just run backwards. Like not tonight, brother. But I mean, I had a situation once where I like out of fear. I had to strike a guy because I thought I was in a lot of danger.
Like a fight or flight.
Yeah. And it was the right thing to do. It really was because I hit him in just the right way that I was like, just got basically him. A big guy asking for a cigarette and he kind of like, and so I hit him in the solar plexus.
Wait, what? For us people that haven't been to med school, I know what it is. Just for I knew it was just for the chat, dude. I know what it is. Just in case I don't know.
It's like your diaphragm, so it's
right. So it winded the shit out of him.
Yeah, it winded him. Man. And I was like I was panicking, but he fell to the ground, and I was just like, "That's right, motherfucker!"
Oh my god! Get the fuck out of there!
Yeah, I got it's like a little moment of like confidence.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude! Oh man, it has to be a good feeling. If someone comes at you, just show them up. I mean, it has to be a little bit of a like. God damn. Man, I don't think
we all like to think that we're going to be the tough guy who can Jet Li somebody. But, I mean, the thing that happens, man, is you got to be careful out there, hey?
Yeah.
You don't want to be the guy that gets stabbed or anything.
Well, that's the thing. I say this, like, quite often, that the people you have to be most scared of are the people that have nothing to lose and everything to gain. You know what I mean? Like, there's some people out there that have, like, there's nothing left. And they're just like, well, fuck it. I'm going to stab a fool any day of the week. And it's like, and you got everything to lose. So you're like, well, actually, I'd rather not get into this altercation. And and who's going to win that shit? Probably them, because they're like, well, fuck, I'll just put everything into this, and you're like doing your best to stay away. And it's like, oh man, it's scary out there. People, there are some fucking. I mean, it's terrifying to think of how many messed up people there potentially are, just in close proximity. Every time you go out, someone's just like 1 second away from snapping, and it's like you can't live in fear, obviously, and you never would. You just like live your life, but at the same time, man, it's one of those things. You just, I mean, we've seen it plenty of times, you know, like even that dude in Melbourne that had like a knife, and there was a shopping trolley dude, and he's trying to like bowl him over, like recently. This guy that drove his car down sidewalk and stuff like that.
In Melbourne.
Yeah, there's been a few like cases like that in Melbourne. I'm sure Sydney has shit like that.
He passed away actually from that trolley thing. There was a cafe owner there.
Yes, there was. Fuck, I forgot about that.
It's so tragic.
It's insane.
But it was good that the guy at the trolley, man, he didn't give a fuck.
He was just like, yeah, this is Woolworths advocate,
even the cops, you know, like cops are like, their whole thing is like, don't get involved, like stop, shut down.
Oh, and they
the
just
cops
had
there, you could see them. They were like, thanks, man. Like don't get hurt, but thanks, dude. You're really helping us out.
They're probably standing back and just being like, yo, who you think's gonna win? Just standing back like, you think I'm putting the money on the trolley guy? I think he's gonna win. Yeah, dude. Yeah, we'll step in if we need to. They're just like the fucking ref dude with the tasers. Dude, I say it all the time. I fucking love seeing people get tased. It might be horrible of me to say. It's the funniest thing to see, dude. Just like them running and just fucking seize the shit up. Oh man, I can't go past a good tase video, dude. I always encourage people to go look up a good old tase compilation. It'll make your day. If you're having a bad day, like, come on, you remember that "Don't Tase Me, bro" video? The guy's like, "Don't tase me, bro." He's like, "Ah!" He's like, "Stop tasing! Why are you tasing me?" And it's like comedy, dude. Like, you feel bad for the kid, but you're like, at the same time,
it's funny.
You're like, stop talking, you fucking idiot. And then he's like, "Why would you tase me?" It's like, stop saying things. It was so like, that video was brutal. That fucking "Don't Tase Me," but what a meme. Imagine being that guy. He got fucking tased. It's like a humiliating moment, and not only does no one care about your well-being, they turn it into a meme. Like, that would be like the worst situation. You're like, oh, well, that's nice. People care about me and turn me into a meme. If you had to be a meme, what kind of meme would you want to be? Like, what's a good kind of meme that you know what I mean? Because obviously, like, you wouldn't want to be one of those memes where, you know, someone caught you in a bad moment and you're like, ooh, what's like a good
You
meme?
want to be, regardless of how anyone feels about that whole thing.
Yeah.
I feel like you want to be an Egg Boy meme.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You want the world to think you're a hero, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people make jokes about it in like a positive way. Yeah, shit.
I can't think of a better...
It's like, we don't really see a lot of like meme heroes, do we? It's usually like fuck ups. God, it's like okay. Here's the question: Would you want to be a meme that maybe makes you like, it's a little bit awkward and a little bit embarrassing for something, but you get a whole heap of fame off it and your channel blows up more and more because of it? Like, it's like almost a constant source of like, hey, you're that guy. The fucking guy that was caught naked that time. Was like, you know what I mean? It's like selling your soul at one point, because, you know, guaranteed there'd be people out there trying to make themselves a meme every day. Like, there's people out there.
Oh yeah, especially
like,
I think the younger generation.
Yeah,
like I go to uni and I'm 28. To anyone in chat, and so like a lot of my class are like
a bit younger.
18. And it's not much. It's not really much of a difference. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think culturally,
generation, isn't it?
Yeah, but like, there's still things where it's like, man, you guys are straight up like Instagram culture. Like, you're on a different level, you know?
Oh man, I struggle with it these days, and I think, was I like that as a kid? But it's probably because of the way social media has shaped all the kids growing up these days. No, I talked to Tay about this today. I don't know, I was kind of like having a real rant when I woke up. And I've stopped kind of using Instagram. I want to use it more. As you know, I was like kind of, you know, you probably saw, I think you followed the other day, like I was like pretty heavy on it for a while there, but I haven't posted in a long time. And I saw you were using it because you were promoting the podcast through it, which I thought was awesome, through stories and whatnot. And I want to get back on that. But God, I struggle with the fucking follow-unfollow culture that things like Instagram. Dude, I've been sitting at the same follow count. And look, numbers...
Yeah, and you get 10 a day, and then 10 unfollows the next day.
And you get, yeah, exactly. Because you get like 10 a day, but then your count never goes up. It stays perfectly level. And it's like... I know I'm not posting anything at the moment, and it could be worse. I could be losing followers, and that might feel a bit... But I'd be like, yeah, I'm not posting anything. Who cares? But it's more just the like... Do I really want to fuck with this platform when this is what it is? Like, it's one, like a lot of it is vanity on...
That's a good point, man. Yeah.
Like, I've kind of started looking at it like in a bit of a yuck light. Like, I've moved to Twitter now. I'm like I love my Twitter, and I don't feel like I even post anything really insightful. It's just me promoting my shit. But I love seeing what everyone else is up to, and I feel like it's got a bit more substance, a bit more like depth to it.
I agree, except for on Game of Thrones release day, and then
shit!
Hell, like stay off Twitter.
Bro, I don't watch Game of Thrones, so I'm lucky I don't have to deal with that. And I don't do the Marvel shit either, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm like, spoiled.
You're blessed. You're like a Buddhist,
baby. Yeah, I'm like I'm in some Himalayan monk temple of my mind. Yeah, like I'm just locked away. Bro, it's the life, man. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. You said something about the Marvel movies. Do you fuck with the Marvel movies? Are you a bit of a...
Yeah, I do. But I think I'm very passionate for film. I'm very passionate for art in general, actually, to be honest. Like, whether it be books or games or paintings or movies or design like, I get what I meant by the obvious detractions, which turned out to be not so obvious. Is like...
Yeah, I know. I was like, what?
Yeah. It's like, you know, it's what a lot of movie reviewers call cape shit is the nickname for Marvel film, those sorts of films.
Cape shit.
Superhero, big budget.
Cape shit.
I
love it. Bro, I'm going to start using that. I've got to
cape
use
shit's
that.
good.
I love it.
But like I get it. It's like on the surface, you know what I mean? It's not this it's not got a lot of substance even though I think you could argue that it does, but you know what I mean? It's
a little bit samey from movie to movie. It's like there's a bad guy, there's a superhero saves the day, guaranteed always at the end, there's no real twist.
But with that in mind, I left Infinity War, which was the last Avengers, the one building up to the one coming out with Thanos and all that.
Yep.
And I just remember thinking like, man, like that's not an easy undertaking. Like, they got every hero we've known for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Put them in a high stakes scenario where I was invested and I gave a damn. And I just walked out of it like, that was a good fucking movie, man. Like, and that's not easy to do.
I think that the potential perils of saying like an undertaking like that is that when you have so many characters, especially big characters, giving like them all equal time. Because you see like certain movies and they don't flesh out a certain story or a certain character.
And you've got Hasbro. You got Hasbro going, we need Ant-Man. At least 10 more minutes of Ant-Man because...
Wait, Hasbro?
1,000 more... just a joke. Like, we need to sell more toys, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
the toys, No, like 100%. Yeah. I wonder if they see if like someone doesn't get as much airtime if the toys just don't... I mean, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of mental... I mean, movies in that way, like, I'm sure there's a little bit of it is an advertisement in a way. I mean,
definitely.
As they're making that movie, they're thinking of ways to sell things throughout it. Like
Disney especially.
Yeah, subliminal Disney, as fuck, dude.
Disney invented that game. Like, the game of like, we're going to sell shit with this entertainment, you know? Like, they invented it.
Yeah, they're not stupid. Now they're starting up their Disney Plus service. So they're just like...
Wait. Before you tell me what that is, because I have never heard of that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sorry, by the way. I like have a bit of ADHD and I get really excited real easy.
No, I love that.
If I just like jump in and like start like...
No, I love it. Dude, sorry. Bro, I love that. It's better than getting to the end of like a thing and I kind of have to really scramble to say something else to fill the air quickly. So it's not, I love that. It's just a constant like...
Sweet.
Like,
then.
see, that's the thing as well. Not likening you to my wife, but my wife and I are the same. It's like we have this thing where we constantly cut each other off and say things, but it all just adds to the. It's just a very
bad.
It's an energetic conversation, and it feels good. And it's like it's good because I feel like with us, where we have this thing where it's not feeling like it's anyone's cutting off anyway. It's a flow,
right.
And I prefer that kind of conversation where it's this flow
man.
of like just interjecting, saying things, adding to the conversation. I'm very much like that. I think some people would hate it. I'm sure some people would probably come on the podcast and be like, "Wow, Matt cut me off a lot," but it's just who I am. I'm very similar. It's like I have something to say. I'm like, oh, like you know what I mean. And I love that.
I walk away from some conversations like, man, I was probably a shit conversation there. You know, like they weren't on that level. They weren't ready for that.
I do that, bro. I have that all the time where I walk around I'm like, oh, I might have been a bit overwhelming. You know what I mean? I'm like, ooh.
On the flip side though, man, sometimes sometimes I feel like it's some people who aren't big talkers probably appreciate it. I've had some people like I've talked about how like, man, I'm sorry that I always, if there's silence, I just steal the conversation. Yeah. But then some people are like, nah, man, I'd rather just like listen anyway. So
yeah, no, that's what, that's fucking true. You know, the I guess there's like a real fine line. There's certain people that like, there's people like us, and look, this might seem like we're doing it right, but there's people like us that I think we're natural talkers. I feel like we can keep a conversation flowing. But then there's the people that just talk to fill dead air. And they're like, that's the kind of like, there's the fine line. There's like, where like, it's like that kind of, you don't let it breathe for a minute. And it's like, they just kind of want to say something because they're nervous about dead air. And I worry that I come across as like that sometimes. But usually my brain's just going a million miles an hour. I just have so much to ask or say.
Same.
I think it's a quality. I really do. I think I like to think.
I think it's a quality that's going to help you with your podcast.
Absolutely,
it definitely does. Yeah.
I feel like you have to be able to talk for a podcast. I mean, it makes sense, does it? Like, I mean, it's you have to have that trait. I feel like not everyone could do it. I kind of like that about. I mean, I guess with like Twitch, there's like a market for everyone. Like everyone can have their own way of doing it. You might not be a big talker, but hey, you might fucking crush it at some Fortnite, or you might just have an entertaining aura about you in certain other ways. But I think with a podcast, it's pretty much talking, so you need to be able to keep a conversation going. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's no game will save you at that point. So
I think we're on the level then. I think 100%. We're birds of a feather in many ways.
Yeah, 100%. Bro, I'm always surprised you haven't gone on the podcast train in some way. You know, it's obviously the podcast kind of hype has been growing. Like a lot of people starting podcasts. I'm surprised you haven't like delved in on a TavorLIVE podcast. You know, you got a couple of people in your circle as well. I know you've done a couple of collaborations with Knight Sinclair as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I mean, I feel like you got a little.
Shout outs to Josie, by the way. She's amazing.
Oh yeah, who's Josie?
Knight Sinclair, Josie. Yeah, sorry, Knight Sinclair. Yeah, her name's Josie.
I knew that. We're super close as well. Like,
my bad. Sorry.
No, you're right. Oh, first name base. Okay, just name drop him. It's cool, dude. It's cool. Wait, I get it. You're in with the cool people. I get it, dude. It's fine.
She doesn't feel like the cool people, man. She feels very much like an outsider. But I should leave that for her to speak her part when she's on the MattyAP podcast.
Dude, I would love to have her on the podcast. I don't know if this is like, I don't know. Is this? I would definitely be nervous. I don't know if that's like a shit thing. That's not meant to be a bad thing. It's not meant to be a negative thing. I think I'd be nervous. I think she's a very strong person. Like I think her humor is on point. Her fucking humor is on point. And I feel like I'd be like, I don't know if I'd be able to keep up. Like, you know what I mean? You ever see those people? You're like, I don't know if I'd like if I'd just be so nervous. I don't know. Like,
look, I hope you're gonna have her on the podcast. I think you definitely will, and I hope that happens. So. But you won't be able to anyway. No one can, man. She's just a fucking. She's a weirdo. She's on her own.
Dude, I love that. Like, I want to be my own weirdo. You know what I mean? Like,
as
everyone does. But it's like you almost can't choose to have that. You can try a little bit and you can be your own person, but God, some people just have their natural differences that make them so alluring. And
you can't fake it.
You can't exactly. You can't fucking fake that. And so I don't know, put in a good word for me, dude.
I got you. Yeah, no. Man, I'm sure if you just asked her, she'd love to be. But
I don't know. I see. That's what I'm saying. I still see. Even now, I still am like, can I hit that person up? Am I? Is it okay for me to do it? So I'm still like, a month is not that long to like, change your whole mindset and grow. But I feel like I'm definitely getting better at like just going, I need to hit people up. And if I love their work, I'm going to let them know. I'm going to ask them to be on it. But there still is some people I'm like, ooh, they're so like, I want to make sure that, I'm at the point where they feel like it's a worthy decision to come on the podcast.
You're good people. And that's why you're concerned about that, I think.
Hey, cheers, dude. I try. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I could imagine a table podcast is ever saying, like, have you thought of doing other means of media and whatnot?
Yeah, I've talked about it. I've talked about what I really want to do is a Warhammer. Do you know Warhammer? Yeah, heard of Warhammer? Mm. Yeah, I want to do a Warhammer podcast. Discussing like the lore.
Yeah, man, that could go fucking deep. That could go so deep.
Real deep. It's the biggest sci-fi ever made as far as
you wouldn't run out of shit to talk about.
Yeah. I've talked about doing it with Fiend actually.
Fuck yeah.
But I just never pursued it. It's actually funny you mentioned. I'm at a weird spot with my content right now, and I want to know actually if you felt this kind of way. The way I'd put it is I feel like I've become too comfortable with my regular viewership.
Yeah.
As in like I started like super hungry. Always thinking about what can I do to be better and da-da-da. And then I found a niche and I was like, I love this niche. I love coming and playing this game with my regular viewership. And I've been a little less on the trying to think about how I progress and stuff like that. But that's not a.
It's not a negative.
I don't look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't go like, oh shit, I've buggered up.
It's like you're content and you're almost questioning, should you be content? Is that kind of like should you be pushing to now progress in ways when you're happy with what you have for the minute?
And I do want to.
Yeah, of course.
I love this. I love this. I'd love to do this for a living. I'm sure a lot of us would.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you gotta, especially today, you really gotta like carve your own little slice out, you know?
Man,
and
it's tricky.
And a big part of that journey, I think, has been trying to figure out, like, me. What is it about my? Because I love to entertain. I just feel like I was born to entertain.
You were one of the people that I can guarantee would say you have it. You know what I mean? Like you don't. Like no, I'm not blowing smoke up the old ass. So, like I actually mean it. Like you have, like you, and obviously even just talking to you on this podcast, I can just feel the aura, dude. Like I can feel that you have, like, I know what you know, like you have exactly the quality that you need. Like there are people that will listen to you. Like there are people that will just, like I could fucking just listen to you. Well,
that's nice, man.
Like
that's nice to hear from you as well.
No, 100%.
So thank you.
Like you know, people. It's funny. It's like it's so hard because we get mixed messages when we do all this, like these different types of media. We get mixed messages because everyone's different. All the people that come by our stream, people are so divided in what they like. So we can have all these people that go, oh, we love what you're doing, and then we get someone that's like, you know, they might come in, they dip out, they don't care what you're doing, or they might be like, oh, it's not my kind of thing. They probably won't tell you, but you might get a vibe or whatever. But it's because not everyone can love your shit, you know. As much as Ninja had at one point like over 100,000 current viewers is watching him every day, there was still plenty of people that were like, I don't like Ninja, I don't like that guy, he's up to no good. Like because there's always going to be a divide. And it's kind of like, it's hard because we can really start. I know for me, like I have questioned myself many times. I'm like, am I going the right way with my content? You know, I'd have all these people that are like hanging out in my chat, you know, my regulars, and I love it. But you can get a bit in your head and go, oh, but like, you know, like, do people like my stuff? It's such a weird ride. Twitch is weird because it's so instant. Like you see things happening instantly in your chat. It's like a moving, like, experience of reactionary feedback to what you're doing, which is kind of tricky because one, you don't even have time to, like, then you get trolls, you can't filter it out. It's very much like it's all hitting you at once. Whereas something like YouTube, it's like no one has to see your reaction to it. You can in your own time compose a lovely message back to someone, or you can be like, fuck the haters to the trolls, you know, like in a nice composed way, like, you know what I mean? But and it can be a bit of a whirlwind on Twitch. Like I totally get what you mean though, like I mean, like I've said this a few times, and you're a bit of a Dr. Disrespect fan, right? Like,
Yeah, definitely. He was one of my inspirations for starting.
I mean, that dude, like, same with me. Like, I actually believe I started before Dr. Disrespect on Twitch. I've been around for like almost 3.5 years. I think I could be wrong. Now I don't know. I remember I watched him very early on.
3 years, I think. I feel like he came into it with H1Z1, I think.
Yeah, he came on the scene just after I and that motherfucker already has so many more million followers than me. What's going on here? But the guy's amazing. Like, the guy's always inspired me. And the biggest thing is that he's so different. And he's got this market of just like, no, like, people have tried to kind of do the glasses and the mullet thing. There's a few people that do mullets and whatnot. And it's like, but he's already done the glasses and mullet. So it's like, but he said something really profound like a little while ago.
The thing you shared on Twitter?
Oh, not just that. I shared the thing on Twitter. That was really out of character for him, though. By the way,
I said that. I was at the tequila tasting, it was like, and I read
this
it.
Is a little bit. Let me quickly dig it up. So if anyone's, because I'd love to read this quickly.
It was beautiful, man.
It was like this is
But I've seen that. I've seen him change how like he can be, disrespect, but then someone hits him with a message like, pressed, and I'm starting to make strides in my life, and he just switches gears to this, like, dominate, get it, go out there, you've got this, like, you know.
And it's crazy as well, because like, if someone's come to me with like that same kind of message, I struggle sometimes to say the right, to feel like if I'm saying the right thing, and he so confidently just has it. He hits the nail on the head with what he says. It's so perfect, and it's not like he's just saying, it's not like he's overly sugarcoating it, but he's saying it in a way that's like, he was saying it in a way that's impacting. That person will definitely say and go, you're right. Like, I need to tackle this. You know, he makes sure they know where they're at. But he always says the right thing. And I think, man, this guy, like, he's definitely got a good heart, that dude. I think, like, it's funny, like, with it, everyone makes their mistakes, obviously, and he's made a couple. It's fine. We all do. But dude, you can't discredit the guy. Because like, I
don't discredit him at all, man.
No, yeah, and I think there'd be a lot of people that you still see the people that he'll post saying on Twitter, and they'll still be like, "Dr. Disrespect your wife." I'm like, bro, like, are you kidding me? Those people
troll's gonna troll the way I see it.
That's
true.
But
like, I mean, there's two things. One, I think marketing wise, me with my tiny piss all marketing knowledge, I think it was probably a silly idea to publicize all of it. But at the same time, putting that aside, a man bearing his soul, a man or a woman, a person bearing their soul like that, like, fuck, you got to respect that, man.
Yeah, I agree. Part of me like wonders what the reason was. Like,
I reckon it was his wife. She goes, "You love me?
Prove it.
Do it. Yeah. Do it live. Like,
I agree.
Tell them all."
I agree. It did seem like he had just been scolded, by the way. But yeah, like. Like he was like, because I mean, and he was definitely making up, like, I mean, like he had definitely just had a conversation with the misso. But I mean, I still find it very crazy in today's day and age of the internet and not many secrets being able to be kept, that people didn't find out really who the mistress was. Not that they should, but I'm just like, you know how people are.
I'm like, they get
how
in
did
there,
how people like literally hacked Fortnite's 75 million follower Twitter, yet they can't like dig deep. You know what I mean? Like,
4chan found, what is it? What's his name? Elijah? No, not Elijah Wood. What's his name? The Transform first.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. You know his art project with the camera and the flag or whatever it was. That art project he did where there was a live camera with like a thing.
Oh, he's done some weird shit. No, I don't know if I know that
but people kept finding where it was, and then he moved it to just this live stream of a flagpole or something, and 4chan found where it was on the planet because they triangulated the planes that were flying overhead.
Oh my god!
Yeah, like,
no way! That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Oh, people are crazy, dude. People are just so clued in. That's the thing, man. Like, that's the thing. If 4chan had not maybe now because it's so, even now, even though it's so dark, dude, I'm sure they'd be like, the number of windows, the amount of power that's being generated, where he's at. I'm looking up power usage right now in the current, and they'd be like, this much power, that many windows with lights on. Yep. We found him.
We got him.
And they just hack one of the cameras outside straight into the window. We got him. It's just I like that terrifies me. I'm not gonna lie. People are fucking crazy. Like people like if they wanted to find me, they could find me. If someone wanted to find someone 4chan was like, oh shit!
You're right.
Imagine, I know. It's crazy. Like I don't know. It's like, I mean, like the whole thing with people hacking like Twitter accounts. Like, did you hear? Like I said on the podcast the other day. Even Dr. Disrespect's his Twitter got hacked as well. Not just Fortnite, but his got hacked like a couple of weeks later. And at the same time, his Twitch got hacked, and all of a sudden, like his Twitch went down, and all of a sudden it came back up, and it was this completely different like thing. It was this weird screen, not much on it, and just photos of kids' faces, and they were kind of moving around. But it was like the kids almost like that were doing the hack. And they were just putting, and it was like sub to this people, like something like weird like that. It wasn't like sketchy like some pedophile ring or something, because I know that's what it sounds like when you're like, there was kids all over this. No, it's like,
it was like, that's what I thought is they were trying to get him banned by like.
No, they were putting just literally, I think it was like just their friends and shit, and they were just putting their picture of their friends on. Yeah, it was weird. And I'm like, where do you even start to hack something like while they're live and overtake it and then put your own shit on stream? Like, and you know what? I have to say, like, God bless those little tykes, because they could have really thrown some shit up on screen.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they could have thrown some shit up. And, like, even just a touch of porn. And, like, you know what I mean? And, like, all these fucking people watching... I mean, imagine if they did that to Ninja. Imagine in his prime. When he's pulling like 100,000, the parents are like, "Are you enjoying Ninja, honey?" And he's like, "Yeah, mom." And all of a sudden, like they look out,
mom walks in,
and it's just like, and he's fucking hitting it from behind, dude. He's just fucking from behind, you know. She's like, "Oh god, yeah." And mom's like, "What the fuck, Ninja? Doing well for yourself." Wait, that's not Ninja. Where's the blue hair? You know, it's have you fucking seen that thing that people were doing on Twitter for a while? And there was like a compilation of like Ninja with like the blue hair and shit, you know, him. And then all of a sudden it cuts to a shot, this fucking naked dude just like twerking, but he's got blue hair. And he's like some... Oh, it was so uncomfortable, man. It was weird because you'd be watching it. It's a compilation of Ninja just doing things. All of a sudden it's like this... like, okay.
It's Ninja again,
it's like, where it's like this skinny dude, skinny lanky dude, blue hair, but completely naked, and he's just going... like that, like complete ass just basically, and it's just like, you're just like, what the shit? And I think they did it to another streamer where they found someone very similar, but he's twerking. I'm just like, how do people find this shit? Like, like it takes someone to find someone that almost looks like they could be exactly Ninja twerking naked, but then it takes them going, you know what? I will make a... Oh, was it pink hair? My bad. It was when he had pink hair.
I'm going to punch it into Adobe Premiere.
Yeah. And
I pirated.
Edit up a meme. Like it takes like... It's like a couple of step process. Because you might find it and be like, oh, that's kind of funny. That looks a bit like Ninja. What a good meme. And then just like kind of move on with your day. Or you can find it and go, you know what? I'm going to make this seem like it's Ninja twerking. I'm going to make sure people know it. Like, it's like it takes...
Meme lords are something else, man.
Oh, man. They can make something out of nothing. Like, I don't get...
I respect it.
I do too. It's an art form. It's an art form.
Yeah, it is. I mean? It really is.
In 1,000 years, people will look back at like the early dawning of internet culture, and this will be in history books. Like Pepe the Frog and shit will be in fucking history. They'll be like... And kids will be like, I don't care... So I don't care. When are we going to need this in life? When are we going to use this? He's like, you will learn about Pepe.
Yeah.
You will learn about Pepe hands.
This is what Donald Trump used to seize power.
Imagine
you will respect it.
Imagine if it was Pepe. It's like this weird...
Oh, man, he was memed into office. I mean, we don't need to go into that too deep. He was memed.
Ooh, in what way? Feel free to enlighten me.
Like, I just think... As an observer, like from what I could see, man, like Trump and the people in charge of his...
I mean, he didn't expect... I don't think he expected to win.
Well, I mean, I don't think he expected to win, but I feel like they had their thumb on the pulse of like youth culture, and they just knew, they just tapped into it, you know? Like every little thing, like what was it? Hillary would trip up. They'd be like, you know what I mean? They'd just be like, she's tripping. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
they just play on it. Dude, I gotta say as well, your mic is cutting like out a little.
Is it?
Only slightly. It might be on mine. It might be an internet thing. It's like
Raw pointed out that I had some settings on in Discord, which I've since turned off. But if it's still cutting out, that's not
it's only doing it like a little bit though. It's like
I know what it might be
because it's only doing it. It seems to be progressively maybe doing it more. It wasn't doing it that bad, but it's like if anything, we can even reset the call. I find sometimes that helps problems. So.
I think it's Discord, like, because I have a mixer and that takes care of like my compressor. Yeah. I think I have the setting on in Discord where it's doing its best to ensure that it's clear. So
right.
How's about? Am I not too loud? Am I too loud right now, or am I the same?
I can hear myself more. I think. Oh no, it seems good now. Yeah, I can hear myself for a second. I actually could hear myself on yesterday's podcast as well a bit, and I was like, I'm not going to bother Bronchi about it.
That's like,
weird. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's on my
coming through my headphones, so it's like, unless my headphones are just that loud.
No way. That's the thing. I'm like, because Bronchi had as well. Maybe surely I didn't fuck something up.
No, I don't think it's you, man.
Slight intermission.
Is my voice still okay though? It's not too loud, too quiet.
It sounds good
right
man.
now.
No, it sounds.
Because I just turned off the detect automatically, and we'll just see if it's.
Oh right.
We'll see if that helps things. So let me know, please. Like, let me know if it continues.
Yeah, I'll let you know for sure.
Yeah,
because it wasn't really much of an issue, but started doing a little bit more and more. It almost seemed to be getting progressively worse. I was like,
okay.
Like, now maybe I'll bring it up. But yeah, because it wasn't really like I feel like it wasn't really we weren't missing anything so much. Rules like turn all Discord stuff off. Yeah, it sounds good now.
All right. I've turned all the Discord assistance off. We'll see if it helps.
Oh, you just send it. Okay, I'll turn you up now. I'll turn you up because now you're a bit quiet.
Ah, shit.
No, you're right. Say a couple of things for me there. Do a little.
Hey, Yowan, what's going on?
Ooh, I like it.
It's your boy T-Dog.
T-Dog. Ooh. All right, that should be good. Okay, hopefully that's good. All right, we'll see how we go.
No, because that's the thing is like, you know, if you set up your mixer perfectly, but to have your audio right, and then you put it into a program that has an automatic assist, it's like it's kind of too many chefs, you know?
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. I haven't fucked with the world of mixers yet, but I was even talking about just before this podcast that I wouldn't mind upgrading to and probably people are like, hey Matt, we can't see Table because I'm like still turning you up a little bit.
Yeah, right.
No, it's good. I think I got you there. I think I nailed it. But
your audio is dope on my end.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right, that's good to know. All right, because I mean, people have actually as well told me that I could. Table, can you stop just being fidgety on the pod? No.
Sorry, I am really fidgety.
No, fidgety. I
have ADHD. It's like fuck.
Bro, I fidget like on everything. I'm actually surprised I'm not during the podcast. I think
I'm not bored.
You know
just
what?
in case that needs to be said, I'm not.
No.
Like if I'm fidgeting, it's nothing to do with you.
Thank you. I thought I was about to end it. I was like, he's so bored. No, I find I grab my mic a lot. I don't know what that is. I always grip it. I'm probably like that comes through probably a lot. Like I'm a big like I watch the Hate Street podcast as well. And Ethan, I don't know if you know the Hate Street podcast, but he'll grab it and he just moves it around constantly. But there's
do you have an arm? Do you have a
no,
boom
I
arm?
don't. It's literally
this
just
is a cheap one, but it's great.
Dude, I would man, I can't wait to delve into the world. I think when I get like a better mic, I'll probably this mic's is so fucking heavy. I'm like, it's been like this for ages, but I wouldn't mind getting.
Are you using a Yeti?
Using the Yeti, dude. Yeah, but I run it through a program called Reaper.
Yep, I know.
Reaper. So it kind of clears things up a little bit because when I first got this mic. God damn. I encourage anyone to go back and find like maybe like a clip just from my stream from maybe 2 years or so ago and just hear me talking and yelling and your ears, well, turn it down a little bit, warning, because I will like get a kill in the game. I'll scream to the mic and although my noise gate still isn't that great, but then it'd just be this big distortion. You know when people do like people do like that bass boost thing where for a meme it's like brrr, it almost sounds like my version of doing that because it's like me screaming. Right. And I'm like, how did I not fucking know for like a year or so that my audio was just the worst? Like I watched my shit back and somehow I didn't pick up on it. It's kind of crazy, but no, we live and we learn, I guess.
Do you know, is the Blue Yeti, is it a dynamic or a condenser or?
That's a great fucking question. Raw, help!
Because Raw said you need a dynamic mic. And
I guess
it's a dynamic mic.
Yeah,
I used to have a condenser.
Yeah, this must be a condenser. I wish I knew more about audio. I'm like the biggest audio scrub. I
don't know much. That's actually one thing I like about Twitch is like every single thing has been. You just got to get in and learn it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Learn 100%. Editing, learn audio, learn...
Yeah, you become your own, like, producer, essentially, at that point. Yeah. You learn about live production. And it's crazy, like, I mean, I'm sure there's been people that have started up a Twitch stream and they just know what the fuck they're doing. But man, for me, it's been like a 3-year learning process, and I still to this day feel like I'm learning shit. But you know, getting there slowly. And I think, you know, you start off with the gear that you've got, you know what I mean, as well. It's like a lot of people don't have like all the best gear at start, so you kind of just throw together whatever you have and make it work. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy though. Like,
yeah,
dude, I would. What kind of mic are you fucking with? What is that? Because that's like a good, pretty juicy sounding mic.
Yeah, this is a Rode Procaster.
Oh, it's the Procaster, right? The Rode Procaster.
Yeah, it's the same mic that 3AW, the radio station, use, and I just picked it up because it was advertised incorrectly. The price was incorrect on a website, and I was like, "Can you match that?"
Shit!
And the store were like, "Well, it's a bit cheap," and I was like, "I'll just buy it at the other store." Then they're like, "All right, we'll match
you
it."
hustled them. That's how you do it. That's how you fucking.
It's nice though. It's really nice. It is a dynamic though.
Yeah.
So it's like
you have to be like quite close. But that's kind of good. I kind of like.
Shitty from here.
Yeah, I do find a lot of time I move around a little bit, but I'm finding I don't maybe move as much, especially during the podcast. I'm like pretty stationary. So I'm like, because before I was like, do I want a mic like that? Because I tend to, you know, when I was doing just chatting, I'd get up and like fucking run across the room and shit, just for the memes and do certain things. But I'm like, nah, now it's like, for the podcast, I think it'd be good to have like a nice dynamic mic, you know. It sounds so good.
Well, condensers are good. From my, like, without getting too deep into this, so we don't bore people, but like right. a condenser is actually, I mean, a condenser's better in the sense that it, like, a condenser can pick up much more, but that's good if you've got good sound control in the room you're in.
Which I do not.
If you're in a weird echoey room, it's going to pick up everything. So that's why I went dynamic.
No, that's a good
point. But if you've got a nice studio, then a condenser's going to be way better, I think, in my opinion.
I feel like my room was much better when I had trash everywhere and just clothes all over the floor. And I cleaned my room up. Big mistake, because now it's more echoey and the sound isn't as good. I'm like, fuck! Should have left all my Macca's wrappers everywhere because it was like absorbing the fucking sound. Yeah, it was like my own soundproofing. And I took it all out.
You got a good collection back there, by the way.
Yeah, it's been
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, for a big Dragon Ball Z fan. I've been collecting for many moons. I haven't actually bought figurines in ages. If anything, I get given them for like birthday and Christmas and whatnot. Because people are like, oh, Matt likes figurines. I do, so they're great presents. But yeah, big collector from more so when I was living at home and I had that expendable cash because figurines aren't cheap.
Oh man, yeah.
Dude, I thought I was like a big collector. I looked at my shit on my shelf. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm a collector. I know what's good. So I thought, I wonder what other people's like. I just one night thought, I wonder what other people's collections are like. And then I realized I'm a figurine collecting scrublet.
Oh, really?
There are Dragon Ball Z figurines that are in the thousands. Like thousands of dollars. Like they will, they're like these. Some of them, no joke, they'll be like the size, almost half the size of me. They're massive. I'm like, first of all, where the fuck do you put those?
Yeah, where's the room? That's what I want to know.
Hey, dude, in their mansion, they got like $1,000 to spend on a fucking figurine. They got the mansion for it.
Yeah, they're the same dudes who drop like 500 gift subs at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's those guys.
Well, there's a guy. I think he's from. Fuck, I don't know where he's from. Somewhere in some Asian Pacific country. But he's a big collector. Like he has a YouTube channel. And he's a big collector of like the big statues, like the massive ones that are like, you know, around $1,000 each. But he puts up a video. Like he puts up like maybe like a handful of videos a week unboxing those shits. And I'm like, okay, where are you putting these? And also, where are you getting the money? So like,
does he get a lot of views though?
Yeah, he does now.
I remember. I mean, way back in the day, like before content creation is what it is now. You know, like the early adopters of YouTube.
Yeah,
I remember. That's when I learned a lot about the dudes who would buy an iPhone. They'd be the first in line for an iPhone, and then they'd film a video just smashing it out the front, and everyone would be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. But
then looking into it, it's like, no, they actually made like 10 times the money of that phone by doing that, you know? Like,
yeah, that's true. It's like, it's just marketing.
Maybe he makes
viral marketing. It is kind of crazy though. I say, so you do a bit of, like you upload like monthly compilations to YouTube, which I saw. And I actually watched you recently. I loved it. I thought it was really good.
I saw that. Thanks, man. Yeah.
And like, I find YouTube's a tricky beast. YouTube, like as someone who's now trying to, you know, grow my YouTube for the podcast, it's not easy and it's a slow grind. And I did aggressively tell people yesterday to follow and sub to my YouTube. And they did, which was good. We hit 300 subs, so I'm very hyped. Make sure everyone subs to my YouTube.
Yeah, go sub to his YouTube.
Go sub to my YouTube.
I did say I realized I wasn't.
Hey, oh, you did. Yeah, I did see you pop up.
Yeah.
Bro, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. But it is rough out there because there's no real way to find small creators.
Oh man!
And at least for us, right? We have our Twitch stream, so we can at least direct people there. And I always think like, how the fuck does anyone start a YouTube like from the ground up? They've got no social media clout. They've got no Twitch stream, nothing. And they're like, I like PewDiePie. I would like to start my own YouTube channel. How the fuck do you start? Like there's no small growth. Like even just trying to find. I found the other day though. I went on Reddit. I'm not a big Reddit user, but I think I might have to start. And I just thought maybe I'd find some small people on that. But of course, like a lot of time you're thinking, well, people, if it's like a promote your small thing, you're just going to find lots of people spamming it. But I found one subreddit that actually had a lot of rules to it. Like you couldn't spam Fortnite videos, which I liked, because that would have been what it was like. There was a lot of rules to it, so you had to really make sure you were posting content that was applicable. Although I found there was people there that were posting videos and they had like 7,000 subs. I'm like, in the world of YouTube, like and startups, you fucking already have like you're in. Like you do not need this. So I found that kind of dirty. But I actually found I had a look the other night and I didn't find really much of anything the second night I was on it. But the first night I found like 3 or 4 YouTubers, which I'm like, these guys are gonna blow up, and they only had like 100 subs, and they're like they're posting video after video with like barely any traction. And it's like, holy fuck, dude, these guys are as good as some of the best. Like their humor is on point. I was pissing myself at some of their shit. I actually want to promote one of them. Actually, I'll have to like, I reckon I'll shout them out on Twitter over time. So
promote it if you want to promote it.
There's a channel called Running from Adults, I believe, and their humor is a little bit questionable at times. But goddamn, dude, I found I was a little bit unsure about them, right? Because they put up some really hilarious skits, but they're really short. They're like a minute to 2 minutes each, so they're very easy to consume. But they don't have a profile picture. They don't have any social media links. They don't have much in the way of like information on their videos or just on their channel in general. But they put up like a handful of videos. And it's like 2 guys. I think they're like college mates, something like that. And but they're hilarious. Like every video they've done, I've like been pissing myself because it's just good shit. And yeah, no branding. It's super weird. And I was watching, I'm like, these guys seem too on point. And all of a sudden I was like, holy fuck, these guys might be biting these clips from somewhere else and re-uploading them. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm like not sure now. But I did comment on one of their videos, and they said thanks. They replied. And then they actually also then must have subbed to me because the video the podcast I posted yesterday on YouTube, they just were like, hey, great work, man, keep up the good work. So they are interacting and they seem genuine in that way. But I'm like, man, I just want to hit them up and go, put some fucking shit on your, like, so people like,
yeah,
like,
for God's sake,
like get some social media happening, like, and all this, because you deserve to grow. But how are you going to grow if you don't have all those different avenues of pulling people in? Like, they're literally, but the reason I found them was because they were on Reddit promoting this stuff and asking for feedback. So, I mean, I could tell that they are genuine because they're asking for feedback. Why would they do it? But it's a little bit weird. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, you have what it takes, but I mean, you're up against many. Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's people who are doing all the right things on social media, but probably don't have the substance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like, you fucking cannot, in this day and age, rely on just being good at what you're doing. You have to do so much more to make it. You can be the best at your field. I mean, maybe if you're the best, but you can maybe fall into it. But gee, you still have to nurture that shit. I
think today especially, like, I think...
Oh, yeah. More competition than ever.
Oh, 100%. Like, you can't really go, like, I'm going to be the next big Twitch thing. You've got to find what it is you like, what you like, You got to find the thing in Twitch or YouTube that really connects with you. And that's what you got to hone in on. And then... if you want, pursue the YouTube as well. Like, YouTube's this big unapproachable, like, it's like, I want to do more focused content. Like, I really want to do, like, I don't want to just do monthly compilations. I'd like to do more focused content, whether it be reviews or whatever. But it's intimidating, man.
Dude,
it's so intimidating.
And you know what? It's like a lot of work to make a video. Like,
a good video too.
Like, I feel like, look, I say a lot of Twitch, and this isn't meant to be a stab. I say this all the time. I see Twitch as disposable content, which isn't meant to be like shade in any way, but it is. Twitch is like you do it in the moment, and it's not so much something people would watch after. It's like you do it, and then you kind of, that's usually it. But YouTube video is like something you craft over, for a while, and you put it out there, and then it's there to hopefully survive the ages, that people can enjoy it for a long period of time. It's meant to live for quite, but where Twitch is meant to be kind of start of the day, you can pull clips from it and stuff like that, but the actual full run of that episode or stream that you did usually will be kind of like forgotten, by most people in a week or so. I mean, you might think otherwise.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. I think you got it in your chat, Spusif as well.
Yep.
I'm sorry if I'm saying his name wrong. YouTube rewards quantity over quality. I think that's true, and I think that's weird too, because Twitch to me doesn't reward quantity over quality, whereas Twitch is the platform for quantity.
Well,
I don't mean it's in there's no quality. It's in like let's just say if you do a 4-hour stream, if you're lucky, there's probably, let's say, 10 moments that are memeable or like Reddit postable, or
and that's generous. 10 is generous in 4 hours.
Exactly. Yeah. Like the ride is more, you're there with some people enjoying something, and like what you said. And so it's weird how it's flip sided like that. Well, I actually know a couple of like successful YouTubers, and they've told me that they think Twitch is intimidating. And I was like, wow, that's weird. It's like, for me, because it's easy. Goes back to your accountability. I click live, I got to put on a show.
Exactly. Yeah, and there's no retakes. Like, you are in it, and that's true. Coming as someone who started on YouTube, they would look at Twitch and be like, I can't be like, hey, what's up, guys? How are you all doing? Like, they can't just keep doing retakes. They can't perfect. They can't edit it later, and they also have to make sure they're interacting with chat. Because that's a big part. They're very different platforms. But the funny thing is, so Spusif, hopefully I'm saying that right. Welcome, good to have you here. He says YouTube actually rewards quantity over quality. I agree and disagree. I agree in the fact that they reward. If you have more watch time, I believe it doesn't go off view count anymore. Apparently, it goes off. If how much watch time you have. The more if you get a good amount of watch time on a video, it's more likely to be pushed to recommended feeds. That's why doing something like a podcast is great, because you can build up thousands of minutes of watch time very easily when you're doing like a 3-hour podcast daily, right? So it adds a lot of watch time to your channel. Whereas if you're doing like a 10-minute video once a week, that's not a lot of watch time unless you're getting a fuck ton of views. Whereas one person watching a single podcast could be like, 50 people watching a 10-minute video. My math's probably a little bit off on that. But so I get in that way, if you're posting a shit ton of videos, you've got more chance of people watching them, and there's more chance of getting watch time, therefore more chance of getting pushed out. But the one thing I'm saying that I slightly disagree with is because I tried something last night and I don't think it really fared very well. I've started trying to do taking clips from the podcast and uploading them as like little 7-minute chunks, 7 to 10 minute chunks. So it's more digestible.
Right.
Because people come into my channel like on YouTube and see a 6-hour podcast with Ash or whatnot. Which I'm trying to keep them at 3 hours maximum now, because I'm like, I need people to feel like it's an achievable thing to watch or listen to.
Yep.
But even 2 and 3 hours, people aren't necessarily going to break away from their watching memes to all of a sudden go, yeah, actually I will invest in a 3-hour thing all of a sudden, just on a whim. So I figured if I make something that's like 7 to 10 minutes long, like little clips I take from it, and upload them just incrementally, people are more likely to come and go, well, at least I can try this podcast and see some of the best bits without investing too much time.
So what happened? You said it didn't go well?
So I've done it a few times where I've uploaded two clips after the podcast, 2 clips from that podcast. I've only done it like twice now. And I upload them kind of like, say I upload the podcast at night, just before 12, maybe 11 o'clock, after the podcast has been happened on Twitch. And then I kind of schedule it so that I have a clip that comes up maybe around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I have another one that comes up around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I do my podcast on Twitch that afternoon. But I kind of thought, you know what? Like, I feel like maybe just posting as much as I can on YouTube is beneficial. So I posted 3 videos last night. Today I should say. I scheduled them in. I stayed up last night sifting through yesterday's podcast, pulling clips and all that. It was a bit of a mish, but it was still good to review the podcast and whatnot, but just trying to work out what makes a good clip and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And I pulled all the clips. I had like 6 or 7 good clips that I thought would be really good. Like, the whole podcast was great, but 6 or 7 or so clips I thought, you know, would be good little segments to upload. And I scheduled 3 in. And I scheduled my first one at 7, my second one at 10, and then my third one at 1 o'clock. And I believe I lost some subs from...
Really?
Yeah, well, it's weird. I'm confused as fuck, dude. I'm trying to work it out because, and I think we've got a couple of subs... Hey, we got a sub during the podcast, which is good.
Woo!
But my sub count didn't go down, right? On my main page. But then if I go into my my YouTube studio creator thing,
the dashboard, yeah,
it says I have less subs on there. It actually went down. Yeah, it says I have 301. So I'm so confused. So I was kind of like, did I lose subs? So I was a little bit confused when I woke up. I'm like, but the real problem is that it's like when you put a shit ton of work into something and you put up, like, you're trying to give a lot of content. One, people might be like, oh, I'm sick of seeing this. Like, it's almost too in your face for people. Like, I mean, YouTube's different though. It's not like it's coming up, like, unless they have the notifications turned on, it's not really like hitting them in the face. Like, they choose to have that. They can turn the notifications off. So, and it's not really a thing that they, but I don't know. I do question that maybe that you can overpost on YouTube.
Maybe.
Like,
do you know, like, that's such a weird thing as well, because I feel like any of us worth our salt, we kind of try and, like, whether you're not into modern marketing or not, like, you still try and have like a little bit of an idea of what's to help, you know, as any way you can.
Yeah.
And it's a weird beast, isn't it? It's
100%.
It's like
I mean,
you're sitting here,
but
I don't like it, man. I don't like it. It goes back to what we were saying before about, you know how there's a lot of people in the Twitch community who I just should have, but haven't extended an arm to or been nice to. Especially because, you know, if you've confirmed for me that maybe I exude some sort of vibe, that maybe there are people who, and I couldn't blame them, that might feel like, oh shit, maybe he's unapproachable or something like that. So that, to me, that means it's on me to extend out to them. Like, but there's a big thing with, sorry to go on a tangent here.
No, do it. Yeah.
There's a big thing with networking. I call it hashtag networking.
Yeah.
And it's like people are like, oh, big event on, I better go hashtag network.
Yeah,
and I hate it. It just gives me this really disgusting, dirty vibe. It's like, I don't want to be in this room because we're trying to forge business relationships. I want to be in this room because I want to talk to you like I am now with you and find out why you do this, what makes you tick, what you enjoy about it, what you hate about it. What, you know what I mean?
Look,
Sorry.
No, you're right. My mindset's changed on networking quite a bit. I think it's how people approach it. I think there's a real dirty way of doing it, and there's a real, like, honest and respectable way of doing it. And I think, like, this podcast right now, this is a form of networking. I mean, it's collaborating, and it's in
its truest sense, I think.
But I agree. The people that rock up at you know, meetups and they have the business cards ready to go and whatnot. I think that kind of is a little bit like, are you just trying to gain something out of this? And look, a lot of people don't mean to come off like that. So it's like, it's not their fault.
Most don't.
Yeah, they're not trying to. They're just trying to, you know, grow with other people. They have an honest thing. But there are people out there that they want to grow off people. I mean, I've definitely come across a handful of leeches on my time on Twitch that have just kind of climbed over me, and once they got bigger than me, I don't hear from them ever again. Like, they're all about my stream. They're in there like, bro, I love your shit, man. We should collab, do all the shit. And they're like really on your shit. And at the minute they have like one more follower than you, they're like out of that motherfucker. You never hear from him again. And it's like, wow, dude.
And I know you don't mean, like, I think it's obvious to anyone. Like, you don't mean that like, and the same as me. Like, if anyone, you don't owe me anything from talking to me or anything. Like, I don't think I have any clout to give. But the point is that it's I think what Lita said, it's forced. It's a forced connection.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. But is it mandatory? Like, is it necessary? I feel like it kind of is. The people who are really good at it are doing really well.
Do you mean to kind
Succeed.
of work with other people in order to grow? I believe it is, dude. For so long, I was like, no, I'm doing this all on my own. Like, I don't want any help. I mean, I'm still somewhat in a weird way opposed to me doing the grassroots program. I'm not applying for it.
It's come up again.
It's come up again, and I was like, should I finally just swallow my fucking pride and take a handout if I get given it? And I thought, because I have to apply for it, I feel like that, to me, I just feel weird about. I don't know, because I'm like this fucking idiot, man. And people actually saw, like, I kind of felt like I got flamed a bit for saying this a while back. Someone was like, you can't do it on your own, and your community helps you as well. Like, you don't, like, because I was kind of saying I want to do this on my own. I don't want help. And then someone said to me, they're like, yeah, but it's not just you, it's your community as well. I'm like, oh, fuck, that's true. Like, I don't do it on my own. I already have, like, I rely on having an amazing community that supports what I do, but it's not just supporting what I do. They are the fucking, they're it. Like, without them, it doesn't exist, which is incredible. It's like, I can't fucking do this on my own. No one can in the content creation world. You essentially are networking with your own fucking viewers every day by making relationships. It's a give and take. You know, you offer hopefully entertainment for their time, and they offer their time for and it's like it's like a trade, but you hope that out of it you build these meaningful fucking connections. But I just think
it needs to be organic. Like, I don't like it when it's inorganic. It just really makes me feel weird, and I leave those kind of events feeling kind of like weird.
Here's the thing. You can always know within yourself. Like, I know that I've never done dirty networking because I can't fucking watch or give time to people that I don't enjoy. I can't do it. Like, I can't interact with people I don't enjoy. My brain just doesn't care to a certain degree, which is horrible. And I give people a little bit of time, I do, but if I've spent a little bit of time in the chat or I've met them in real life and I didn't vibe on them, and they're bigger, and maybe they even kind of, I mean, look, if someone vibes with me, I'm usually pretty open to be like, yeah, dude, that guy was cool. But if I get a vibe, I just don't even try and pursue it ever again. I kind of go, well, that's cross off the list. And it's like, I don't go, well, but you know, I've made that connection, I should try and still push it. It's like, no, I'll only fuck with people that I genuinely enjoy, because I can't, like, your time is precious, dude. Like, your time is, we only have, you know what the thing I was thinking about, right? We should be getting like 8 hours of sleep a day. I looked it up because I was like, do I need 8 hours of sleep or can I function on less? And they say 7 to 9 hours of sleep is how much you need. So I'm kind of like 8. All right, I probably need 8. Let's be real. I take 9, I'm good. But there's only 24 hours in a day. So it only leaves you with what, 16 hours left of the day. 16 hours, that's fucking nothing. Like, that is nothing. Terrifying. So really, when you invest your time into certain things, obviously you've got to, on top of that, you know, you've got to sleep, but you've also got to like eat a few times a day, and that might depend on preparing food.
Like, sorry to interject, but I give a fuck about my health, fitness, and nutrition. And to me, like, eating is a calculated thing. I got to eat the right thing at the right time, and so.
I wish I was like, I need to get on that train. Wait, you mean I should be scheduling when I eat my bag at M&M's?
Well,
it's so bad, dude. I gotta cut that shit out. I'm so unhealthy, dude. I'm so unhealthy. I would love to get on the health train.
They're M&Ms, man.
That's so delicious.
What are you gonna do?
So, hey, dude. At least they're the diet version of M&Ms because they're crispy. They got the crispy, so it's completely fine. It's only
fine.
It's only a tiny bit of chocolate. Fine. It's light, you know. Same with Maltesers, dude. The light way to enjoy chocolate. It's good for you guys. Just eat 2 bags. It's just light. I love how they market Maltesers, dude. The light way of enjoying chocolate. Like, you don't trust us, guys. It's healthy. It's actually, you actually lose weight eating Maltesers. Diet M&Ms. Yeah, you feel free to use that one. But anyway, but they say, so you have 16 hours of sleep, but then you have to spend time eating. That's important because you need to survive. And there's life responsibilities, and then there's leisure time, you know, which a lot of people factor in leisure time with their streams and whatnot. But there's time that then you want to spend giving back to people, you know what I mean? And it can be hard to find that time. But you can't be in everyone's stream every day all at once. Like you just can't do it. I know some people might have different tabs open all over the place trying to support everyone. You just can't do it. I think if anything, it's better to really just, like, you can do that, it's fine, but really just have someone on because you enjoy them.
Yep. And I don't do tabs, man.
No,
I
me
don't.
neither.
I got no problem with it, but it's like I want to watch you because I want to be there. I want to be there watching you. You know, like I will still play a game or something because if I've got that's my time, I gotta utilize it. Like I'll play a game, but I'll have you on and I'll reply when I can, sort of thing. And I've noticed that a lot. And do you find that there's a little bit of a weird thing? Like there's people who I felt like for a couple of months, online speaking, we were like best mates and like we're great because I could be there.
Yeah.
And then they're still doing their content, but for whatever reason, for the next couple of months, I can't be there. And I just feel this like shit, like we're not what we were, you know? But it's not the case.
I mean, but you can always, I think that's the thing. Like, do you ever feel like you can't pick that back up again? Like, you know what I mean?
No. Like the person I have in mind, for example, who's triggering this, I know that I could rock up tomorrow to his stream and he'd be like, "Hey man."
But I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean. I think I think in that case, I think most people totally fucking understand. I feel like the worst. I don't know. I'm not loyal to anyone's channel. I've never been like a loyal viewer for anyone, and I feel bad about that because I have people that watch me almost every day religiously, and they have done for so long, and I think like that's amazing. I consider those people dear friends at this point. But I jump around. I give people like a bit of my time, not because I'm like trying to be like, hey, look at the time, because I want to spend some time talking to those people.
Yep.
But then you kind of go, well, it's time to maybe I'll go say hi to someone else. And it's not because I don't want to keep watching that person. It's just you have limited time.
You got time, man.
And
it's the same with streaming. Being the streamer, I think, is like, man, I appreciate, like, who the fuck has got time to sit and watch me for 5 hours
I know, bro.
and hang off every single word that I say? No one. Like, so, you know, like, how could I begrudge somebody for being distracted or you know what I mean? I'm just grateful that they want to spend time.
It is funny because it can be, I've had moments where I'm like, wow, like people aren't watching or my chat's not moving or this or this or this. Like more early days, I don't really fuck with that shit anymore. It's like, it is what it is, you know, you kind of learn to just roll with it. But you also, I think, understand, you start looking at yourself and you go, wait a minute, I'm that person, I'm that viewer. So I should be able to completely relate to how my viewership is because I'm a viewer. So I know I can't watch a fucking stream all day and I can't you know,
and
there's so many people
to every single word.
And I want to, and it's a greater community. I want to talk to so many people. It's like, it is what it is. It's like going to a party and only going there and there's all these people that you really love, but you hone into one person because you don't want to upset them.
Exactly.
You want to kind of be loyal to that person for the day, and there's all these people that are kind of like wishing that you'd come and talk to them because they could really do with like someone to talk to, and to, you know, to have a friend in the chat, and you want to talk to them, but you're like, I'll just stay talking to this one person at the party for the entire party, so you don't get a chance to talk to all the other people. It's not how it works.
Well,
and
that's
it's like,
the flip side. Do you think like sorry, I just interrupted you again.
No, you're right. No, you do. I love it.
Like. How do I put this? I have had people in my chat that I know from getting to know them, they aren't doing very well. Like, as in, what I mean by not very well is like they're in a rough spot. They're in a real rough spot. And then when they say things to you like, man, like your show is what gets me through the day.
Yeah,
you know?
I've had that a couple of times. And it's, that always means a fuck ton, and that's coming back to accountability as well. Like that's where you start. I've had moments where I've come out from my stream and I've finished stream, I've got a message on my Discord and someone said something like that, you know, like, hey, I've had a really rough time and your streams really helped, like, so thank you, you know what I mean? You're like, oh my god, thanks, like that means a lot. And it really does. I'll go out to town and be like, wow, like it's like I forget like that I might be, you know, giving someone an
influence to someone. Man, there's people right now that look up to you doing this. The people right now that want to do this, they want to do what you do, you know?
Yeah, no, I hope that I can inspire people to give it a go, you know what I mean? Just fucking try something different. What's up, Denmus? Denims. Denims, oh my god, I can't read. Apparently can't. Whoa!
I find that weird too, because by the way, I'm a design student. If you didn't know, and your stream is designed beautifully.
Oh, really, bro? Thank you so much.
Oh man, come on! You got the. Hold on, let me get this right. So if they're watching me, it's orange to like this pinky color.
Oh yeah, you nailed it.
But then it flips over, and the bar where it says my name is.
Bro, I feel I got like a weird like dust like free texture.
Yep, the speckle.
But I'm kind of like I'm starting to remove it from everything because I'm like, yeah, it kind of looks better clean without. But I don't know, I kind of liked it to break it up.
I like this screen. It's nice.
Hell yeah, dude, bro. It means a lot, man. Bro, thank you so much. And also Denims, thank you so much. Wait, you know my stream table? Oh wait, do you know?
Do I know Denims?
Yeah.
I know of Denims.
Really?
Denims. I've never watched your stream. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? You've got a new fan, Denims, and all the
actually
all the Denims heads that are coming
Watch
in.
This shit.
Welcome in. We're doing a little cheeky podcast. I actually do a daily podcast with different guests every day, and who knows? Maybe Denims might be someone on the cards one day. I don't know.
Denim's future guest confirmed right now.
Without their consent, without their just get them on. But welcome in, guys. Absolute pleasure to have you guys here. I'm gonna make sure I quickly, before I forget, give Denims a bloody follow here. Really fucking appreciate it. Great to have you guys here. What are we talking about right now? What were we talking about?
We were talking about I mean, one thing I was talking about was like the impact of your viewership on. So like, if I could go on a tangent about that.
Yeah, do it.
We had a thing in my community a while ago where this is dark, by the way, guys. I'm sorry, forewarning.
Go in.
We had a viewer essentially trying to commit suicide live while
the
stream was happening. And
so I want to quickly say, like, I've had that as well. But dude, it's okay. Quick question: did you know this person before this moment, or were they just like someone who just jumped in and threw?
They were regular. They'd come in a few times.
So because I mean, I've had,
and I knew they were a suicidal person.
Yeah, right. I had a dude that fucking came in that was just I didn't know who the fuck they were. They were just a new person, right? And yeah, they kind of hit me with that. And it's like, what are you supposed to do in that situation? You don't know this person. You kind of go, well, they're potentially trolling. You know what I mean? Like, if you know who they are, that's completely different. When someone comes in, like, and then the first thing they say is, I'm going to kill myself. It's like, dude, well, what the fuck?
Wow.
Like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
we went through all that.
Oh man, it's tricky. It is tricky. Like,
we found out where they were, and we called the police on them. It was a different country. Yeah, me and Ahmad called the police on them.
That's the best.
The police found them in the place they said they were, doing what they said they were.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and they got real mad at me. They got real mad at me in private and messaged me and like, dude, fuck you, like. And I just basically said hey, I was like, you're alive now, fuck yeah. Like, I don't give a shit.
I'm sure. You know what? I'm sure down the track you might get a message one day with a big old thanks. Because you never know, that person might fucking sort their shit out and realize that, holy shit, you saved them, dude. I mean, that happens so often. People that were so close, so on the edge, they thought it was like the end. And it's never the fucking end. It's never the fucking end.
Never. Like, it's the end when you make it the end.
Exactly. But there's always...
And that's not good.
There's always potential to fucking push on. You know, I've had fucking dark times. Maybe not as dark as like the next person, but really dark is dark. You know what I mean? Like there's no real, like, once you get into a weird headspace, you have to work to get out of it.
You gotta. And man,
dude,
my foster mother, the one I mentioned before, she said to me, like, she was like, the way to look at it is death is zero, and zero's bad. Anything over zero is good. And if you are going through some shit that you think is below zero, even though it's not, it probably feels that way to you. If you make it zero, like, that's it. There's it's numbing, no coming back. She's like, but it could be more than zero. It could be 7 or 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, dude, you're not down and out till you're down and out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And mate, I've had some fucking times where I felt like there's no coming back. You know, money has been fucked. Like, I've been like completely just debt city. And money's like a real root of like emotional struggle. It can fuck your whole mindset up because you feel consumed by the beast that is life at that point. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you can't do anything. You can't even go do something to take your mind off it because it costs money. You know what I mean? It's like it's really hard to escape it.
Well, you strike me as the kind of guy that's probably had your own battles with depression and stuff
absolutely.
Like that. Yeah,
I think a lot of people that are quite upbeat, you don't know, you know, the side of what they're dealing with. I think a lot of super upbeat people have like super hard lows. You know what I mean? And dude, I've definitely, you know what fucking got me. I went through my fucking whole life like getting bullied and shit at school. I was like the small kid, you know. And it made me stronger. Like at the time I wasn't really loving the school life, but coming out of it, I was like, this made me strong as fuck. But the thing that actually fucked me up for a while was starting my own business. I started up a photography business. Oh yeah, The View. Ooh, that
yeah,
view.
So
they kind of.
I don't know. Is that bad etiquette?
No, you do your thing. You do your thing.
Yeah, cool.
No, work the crowd. I don't because I'm an asshole. But
No, but I like that. When I first joined when I hosted you, I was like, oh, he doesn't talk to chat, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. I would never not talk to chat, but then I was like, nah, he shouldn't. Like, or as in, not that he shouldn't, but it's like what you're doing's right. Like
I feel like
they want to see the show, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I feel like I'm so heavy on listening to what the guest is saying and thinking of what I want to make sure I say next. And I'm in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're killing it, man.
I do. Just to let people know, I do read chat. Like at the same time, I just don't address it as I would in like a just chatting stream. Like when I just chat, oh, you believe I just chat. I read every line of chat. That's almost the problem. No, Mustafa, you know that's not true. You cut that shit out, baby. But yeah, wait, whoa, shit, what was I saying?
Sorry, that was my bad.
No, you're totally fine. Yeah, this was like money and shit. Oh yeah, it was when I started my business. And it was like, you know, tax and shit. Like trying to manage tax and I mismanaged it. And it was money. It was really like the first thing that I really felt a true sense of depression in life was getting hit with like, you know, a lack of money. Like it just... When you like, you know that you're gonna have to work damn hard. You're gonna have to like make so much cash just to get back to a safe zone where you can actually start saving money, and it's the worst feeling, dude. Because you're like, well, what's the point? And I've never been suicidal, but I've definitely. This is why I say I've never been suicidal, but I've definitely been at the point where I've gone, if I died tomorrow, I wouldn't care. But I always say you're in a good place when you fear death. If you're scared of death, you were having a good time at life.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking terrified of death right now.
Yeah, to prove that point, I think if you were in a state where you don't fear death, like
that's a problem.
That's a wild card, man. Yeah.
That's if you really should, I believe, have some sense of worry about your life ending, because you should have goals and aspirations that you're trying to achieve. Yep. And you should always have something like that. Whether you should never ever reach a goal. You should always, if you hit a goal, make another one.
Make a new
one. Push forward to the next one. And I feel like, because that's what keeps us going as humans. The minute you become stagnant, I mean, I felt like even just recently, I took 3 weeks off streaming and I did fuck all. And by the third week of not doing anything, I felt just completely I don't even know. I mean, I guess it was depressed. Like I felt fucked. Actually my first day back on stream, I wasn't who I am right now. I was really like uncomfortable. Like I've been streaming for like 3 years. I came back after 3 weeks and I just fucking felt weird. I felt not right. And it took me like a week to get back to how I should feel on stream. And it's weird because they say I think what it is like they say an idle mind is like the most dangerous thing. I think there's like a saying about the devil works with idle minds or some fucking shit.
Idle hands are the devil's work.
That's the one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and for so many senses of the word.
I think that's true.
Keep yourself busy.
It's 100% true.
Keeping yourself busy is just a big part of it, you know what I mean?
Ryan B says, I don't fear death, but I'm aware it'll come. Because you've made me realize, I actually want to change what I said. I don't think you don't have to fear it. You have to be in this state of fear of death. But I think if you embrace death, like that's a place to be.
That's true.
That's a weird place to be.
Yeah, I think when you're saying like if it happens, it happens, and there's no kind of concern with it. I think just having a concern with like, well, I'm not ready. Like I wouldn't want to get maybe not having a fear, but saying fuck, I wouldn't want to go tomorrow because I haven't achieved what I want.
Yes,
I think that's the thing. You need to feel like you you don't want
living. Living is worth something.
Yeah, whether you would do it yourself or not.
Yep.
There's a fine line between that. Whether you just don't care if you were hit by a bus tomorrow. Like there's a fucking fine line, because whether you would do it or not, that's still just not giving yourself the worth that you deserve. And everyone has a shot. Everyone has a fucking shot. And your time's not up till it's up, like 100%. And like I've definitely bro, I thought I peaked at like mid-20s because my business kind of like it didn't go.
How old are you, by the way? Can I ask?
I turned 32 in September. I'm 31.
32, dude. I thought you were younger than me.
Everyone says that, dude.
I was gonna ask about the your missus. You know, your missus, your wife for 12 years. So I've been with my lovely lady for nearly going on 8 years now.
Oh,
we're
wow.
not married yet, but
congrats,
it's gonna happen,
dude.
I'm sure.
Yeah, fuck.
Thanks, yeah. But it's like everything you said about her, I was like, man, I feel the fucking same with my missus.
Yeah,
like, that's my bestie. Like, I could tell her anything. We can cut each other off. I don't give a shit. Like,
it's important to have that. It's important to have that. We went on a couple's trip to Queensland with a friend of ours, and he hadn't been with his girl for anywhere near as long. I think they'd been together for like a couple of years, like maybe 2 years, something. And I remember like him saying to me when it was just me and him, he was like, man, I'm so jealous of like the way you guys communicate, because apparently his missus would get upset. Oh, we got another raid. What a fucking legend. What the shit? Small Cosmic, what's up, dude? Thank you for the raid. Appreciate it.
Cosmic, how you going?
Hell yeah, what a fucking ledge. Good to have you. All the Cosmic heads get on in here. Here with TavorLIVE, talking about all sorts of shit. So hopefully you learn something. Apply yourself. Sit down, shut up, take notes. No, I'm just kidding. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Was that did I come on too strong?
To judge a faal tattooed man.
Yeah, exactly. I know I haven't. Actually, I really didn't. That's the thing.
I get it a lot, man. You touched on the subject before about people treating you kind of different, and like, I get treated different all the time. Every single supermarket I enter, security check. Aisle 4.
Bro, I can imagine, dude, when I had my beard, even just going, I mean, it's not a fucking surprise. Look, even without the beard, I feel like I get patted down more often than other people at airports.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm walking through an airport, I'm the more likely, and it always happens that the guy will be like, oh, don't worry, it's just random. It's like, this is fucking random, isn't it? 10th time in a row, huh? This is fucking random.
Every time.
Like, this isn't random, dude. You fucking, you saw me, and like, they're not going to pull the little old grand. Like, there's that movie that came out recently, and it had Clint Eastwood in it. Really good movie. The Mule. And it's about that he ended up...
It's like an old man in a town?
Yeah, and he ended up closing up shop of his business, and he kind of gets roped into being a drug mule, so running drugs from place to place. And the cops don't fucking suspect him. Gets pulled over a few times. They don't think anything of it because he's this fucking old dude. Because we don't suspect. Actually, what was that? Oh, geez, there was a thing I even heard the other day, and they were talking about these guys. It might have been in the Hate Street podcast, and they were talking about these guys that were they were like drug lords, but no one suspected anything because they were dressed always like high school professors, like, you know, ties, just very modest suits and stuff, and just no one suspected a thing. They just look like your upstanding citizens, you know what I mean? And so they would get by. They didn't dressed like with the fucking all black suits and maybe like real, you know, looking a bit, you know, a little bit suspicious. Like, but that's the thing. We have like this societal kind of outlook on what's bad and what's good on the outward image, and I think that's going to change though. That's changing quick smart because the generation coming up.
I used to hate that everyone got tattoos because it's like, stop stealing my thing. Yeah, when I was real young, you know, I was silly.
A lot of people. It was like a bit of a trend for a minute.
Bro, I thought about it today, and I was like, the more people that do it, the more people that are the dudes that are going to be hiring, or the girls that are going to be hiring me. You know, like
people are saying like it's more of a minority now to not have a single tattoo.
Yes,
which is kind of crazy. Man. Yeah, I'm a fucking unicorn at this point.
You're rare. Yeah.
No, but it's a thing. Like, I mean, a lot of people even have just one tattoo, even if it's just inconspicuous, a little cross somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, yeah. Times will change. I mean, all the older, like I said, with Red Ops, he had that 40, 50-year-old chick, and she abused him for wanting to buy him a coffee because he had tattoos, or for him wanting to buy her a coffee because he had tattoos. She was like, I wouldn't take coffee from someone like you. It's like, and it's like crazy, but those people die off. I mean, as hard as that sounds,
they're old, so they're gonna die soon.
And that attitude, but the attitude will die with it. Like it will. It's how it will.
It will, man. 100% will be.
And we're gonna fucking come up in an age that's a lot more accepting.
Yep. And then there'll be a new problem though. There'll be something new.
Yeah. I worry about that.
There'll be there'll be tattoo shops offering Google Vision Plus, and you can get your eyes scooped out,
laser the
robot eyes put in. Yep. And if you do, the problem is you got to pay for the premium subscription, or else you get advertisements from McDonald's.
Your eyes get shut down. You don't pay your bill.
Exactly.
It's like, they shut your eyes down.
Parents will be like, nah, naturalize is the way to go, and then that's the way it's going. 100%.
I mean, you know what? I don't fucking doubt it for a second. Like, we're selling our soul to technology every day. Every fucking day. We don't even realize it. It's like,
is it a bad thing though?
Yes and no. Yes and no. 100%.
Exactly.
It's
like, man, I have a device right now that, like, wherever I am, if I need an answer, I can get it. But am I smarter? Not really.
No. Our phones will take it. Our phones will literally be whipping us, going, work harder. Eventually, there's little boxes, little whip coming out of it.
Yep.
Do you know the thing I think will be a thing one day? The thing that I think will be a thing one day. That's a sentence. I came up with this thought, and I reckon people are working on this shit right now. It's the same topic of talking about needing 8 hours of sleep a day and only being left with 16 short hours a day to get shit done. And how inconvenient is that? Why is no one trying to figure out a way to lessen the time we need to sleep?
Oh, wait. Okay, so I took that the wrong way. I took that more as, like, I thought the direction you were going with it was why are we working so much during the day? Okay, but you went the direction of why do we need to, like, okay, yeah, you're right. I mean, we've got, like, testosterone replacement, hormone therapy. Like, you could go and get whacked up and, like, sculpted the way you want to get sculpted, but yet we still need 8 hours sleep. Dude, or else I'm fucking tired as shit.
This is some, like, looking into the future shit, right? But I'm thinking we can charge our phones wirelessly now. There's ways to wirelessly charge your phones and give it energy. There's fast charging. Imagine one day they find a way that we can just have, like, some sort of device that emits some sort of, like, frequency that charges our body.
Sleep.
No, it fucking charges our body so you never need to sleep because it gives you the energy. Think about it. We need sleep to charge our bodies. Imagine, why hasn't it been invented yet that they find a replacement for sleep that gives you the same energy to your body that charges it, like with some sort of, like, robot, but we don't need sleep. So really, you could be sitting at desk working. It's like 4 p.m. on a work day in your office. You're feeling lethargic. You kind of just and you just plug yourself in, and you're just like, what?
You good to go?
Yeah, you're back at 100%.
Man, you're right, because I love sleeping, but I hate the necessity of sleep.
I hate the waste of time it involves.
Yeah, I want to stay up all night. I want to get it all done.
If I had a genie, I wouldn't be asking for millions of dollars, because I feel like I know I could make it by just asking. Like, because that would just feel too, like, unfulfilling. I'd rather ask for never having to sleep or never being out of energy, like having infinite energy, to feel 100% 24/7.
At least you're not asking to bring people back from the dead. I can't do it. It's not natural.
Damn. Yeah, that's right.
Aladdin.
Yeah. No, that's kind of funny. I wonder why they say that. I wonder why the genie in that says that he can't bring. Yeah. It's got to be like a.
Uno, dos, tres. No recharges or refunds.
I wonder why. It wouldn't be able to. Why do you reckon they made it? Maybe because it would break the fucking. Because you know
I talked about this at my tequila tasting.
Oh, really?
Can I get kind of a little bit dark for a second?
Do it. You fucking go.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was talking with Taco about how there was this. I was reading this medical document about this guy during, like, he was like a doctor in France during, like, the Renaissance or something.
Yeah, right.
And he was permitted to experiment on the heads of the beheaded, because guillotines were a big thing back then.
Man, beheading's like literally like the worst. I struggle. Yeah, anything like to do with that, I just can't handle it.
Well, he successfully got a dude to blink twice as a response to a question after the beheading. man, that is like the most fucked thing ever.
Well, the thing is, surely your brain has a little bit of something going on still. Like you would,
that's what he was trying to prove.
Yeah, your head would get cut off, and you'd know your head. You would literally, because this wouldn't matter. This shit wouldn't matter. You wouldn't know what's going on down here. You would literally know you're just a head rolling around.
Oh! It's so fucked, man.
Like, it's the worst way to go, dude. Worst way to go, 100%. Fuck
beheading,
that shit.
What's the best way to go?
Stubbing your toe and just having a heart attack about it. I don't know. Well, that's just having a heart attack. It's like that.
Fuck me toe!
Dude, it's like that fucking Family Guy joke where it was like, it's an episode where they're talking about where the town that they live in, whatever that's fucking called, how it was founded. And it's like this guy, this like fucking guy that came from, I don't know, he's like a Captain Cook looking motherfucker. And they're telling the story, and then at some point they say, and he eventually died due to a case of oh shit, what is it? Oh fuck, what's the I always know this joke and now I fucked it up. What's like the fucking disease? It was like a particular disease, and they're like, oh shit, I wish we could find the clip now.
Well, on the stub toe, while you thinking of the clip.
No, well, I'll just make up a different thing. It was like I'll just change the disease. It was pretty much like he died due to a case of cancer and a tomahawk to the head. And I was like, the cancer didn't make it. It's like he died because of a tomahawk to the head, but it's like the same as saying like he stubbed his toe but had a heart attack. It's like, well, he had a fucking heart attack, but it's like, yeah.
Well, I wish I remember Jack Daniels, which is my favorite whiskey to mix with Coke. The guy who made it, Jack Daniels, he died of sepsis because he stubbed his toe.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he kicked his safe in a rage. He kicked his safe, and it got infected, and he died of sepsis.
Oh my god, that is that age though, that time in the history of the world where,
well, shit, your toe's infected. We can't do anything about it.
Just throw him out in the street, dude. Throw a blanket over him. He's done. He's like, I understand. I'll just die here. It's like, imagine the days where a common cold would kill you. I mean,
bro, man, do you know what though? Like, that seems like people talk about that, like, back in the day, the common cold would kill you, and it's supposed to be this big lofty concept that you don't understand. I can get it, man. When I'm sick in bed with like a bad flu,
you feel like it's game over. If I have no
medicine, I'm fucking dead. Like, I'm gone.
Well, it's like, that's the thing. It's like, and surely it's also just the living circumstances back then. You had no environment to help cure. I mean, because I feel like I could get through a cold if I needed to without medication. I wouldn't die. But I guess times back then, it just was just different, man. I mean, you have to be happy you're living in a time like you are now, where
for sure,
you got a little bit more option to you, a little bit more chance. But that's the thing. I'm sure eventually, like I said, we'll have time where we can just charge ourselves and not really have to sleep if we don't want to. And we'll be like, wow, can you believe like people had to sleep back in the day? Like literally, like people had to fucking spend 8 hours of their day. But I was saying to Tay, if they ever bring that out, we're going to be working like fucking 14 hours a day.
Will we replace robots though? This is.
Oh, that's true,
bro. You can't capture this conversation. Like, that's the problem. It's like
shit.
Yeah, like I was thinking about it. It's like there's a day that's going to come where our brains get put into robots, and we can just go about the earth with a robot if we need to change it. And then I was like, but that's not even thinking deep enough. Why have the robot? Why not just Wi-Fi your shit?
Oh, like dude, it's gonna get fucking weird. It's gonna get fucking weird, and it's already getting weird. I mean, they've got like the robots that already are starting to learn by themselves. Yeah, and that's creepy on its own. But dude, I think like fuck this shit. The minute those robots realize that they can access the internet, like they've got Google at their fingertips, they just download like they're just connected. Yeah.
So what do they do?
Oh, they take over. They take it. They're smarter than all of us.
Maliciously? Do they put us in zoos? Do they kill us? Do they?
I think you make enough of them, and somehow they have enough free will. Yeah, you're fucked. Eventually.
But what about the others? Maybe there are some that'll be like, nah.
I mean,
we should respect these guys and not hurt them and not put them in zoos, even though they're shit.
It only takes one crazy motherfucker to
crazy
use it.
Robot.
Well, no, even just human to just go fuck it. Like there's literally countries making bombs that could wipe out a whole country. You know what I mean? Like, what's to say?
Like 3% of the nuclear payload, and not a cockroach will be alive. Like,
dude, it's like we're teetering right now. We're fucking teetering. And it's like, why don't they make robots? Eventually they'll just walk amongst us and slowly gather intel and all this and this and this, send it straight back. You know, all this shit. I don't know. And then
maybe they make a podcast and they invite people on. And
I'm sure, I don't know what you're talking about. This might be a perfect time. Definitely not because I'm trying to avoid the question. I need to pee really bad.
I gotta pee so bad too.
This is what we're gonna do. All right, are you happy to man the chat or the podcast?
And we'll switch.
And we'll switch. That way, there's no dead air, and I don't have to do any editing. All right, good shit. All right, you've got this, right?
I got this.
Have you got chat in front of you?
I've got it.
All right, everyone, be good for Tavor. Be good. He's in charge right now, so be nice to him. Substitute teacher. All right, I'll be back in like a minute or two. It's probably gonna be a long pound. I can feel. I've been holding for like an hour.
Do your thing, man. Take your time. Enjoy it.
Good stuff, everyone.
Enjoy it.
Be good for Table. I'll be back in a minute. Oh no, they're catch up already. You're behind. You're behind Table. Come chop. You're behind. No chat. You're behind. Okay. You got this. You got this, babe. All right, I'll be back.
Spoosive. By the way, everyone in chat, I've been reading everything you're saying. Obviously, I'm trying to sort of honor the platform. Or no, the way this is delivered, and I'm not trying to include you too much. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, whether I'm supposed to just answer you guys or not, because some of you have raised some really good questions. Shout outs to Clicky, shout outs to Spoosive. I think I'm saying your name wrong. Leader, Taco, what's up? I've had to pee for like an hour, but last time I watched this podcast, I remember they were bragging about how they don't pee. They never pee on this podcast. So I was like, I'm not going to be that motherfucker. I ain't peeing. I need to pee like real bad. So I'm glad that Matty brought it up. It's a yoink stream. It's mine now. N-word, F-word. Don't your B's. All right? If you want sub to Matty on YouTube, go now before Matty gets back. By the way, Matty has a YouTube. It's a very good point, Drawser, and it's good. I mean, come on, guys. Like, we all know that the reason, like, this is a good show because of this panel over here, and people like us are just lucky enough to be on the show. Go sub to his YouTube. It's really good. I actually really, really do, like, wankiness aside. I fuck with what Matt's doing, and so that's why I'm so happy to be on this show. I hope you guys are having fun, by the way. Thank you to the two Rage. You guys have stuck around. So if you have any questions, you should feed them to Matt, because I feel like I've been accidentally steering him off on tangents. Like, he said from the get-go, he was like, I want to talk about why you're so stupid that you got face tattoos. I want to talk about why you look like a wanker. And then I somehow steered him off into this different direction about, like, what were we talking about? Fucking robots taking over the earth and content creation, how it turns you into a fucking what's the word I can use? Into a gelatinous goo. But I don't feel like that's maybe what you want him to ask me about. I don't fucking know. Imagine needing to pee. I have had like half a bottle of white wine. Before I started this podcast, guys, I had a tequila tasting at my bar. And like we sampled like 6 tequilas. So I'm fucked. It was a phenomenal day. Drag it out as much as you can. As for conversation with chat, if it works with the topic, bring it up. Right, Spoosive, man, you're on it. And Matt's good at that. When I first watched Matt's podcast, I was like, oh shit, he doesn't talk to chat. Is that a problem? Because I'm such a big chat focused person. It's not. I don't think. Like I've sat in on like a 4-hour podcast with this dude, and I enjoyed every moment of it. Tangents are great. Just answer the questions he wants to know. Do you think I haven't yet, Spoosive? Be honest, man. Have I avoided a question? If so, I should answer it, because I want to be as candid as possible. Ask Denims about peach pizza. So what? Pizza with peach on it. I can see that being a thing. I've had dessert pizzas, Denims. Ask Denims about feet. What do you think about feet? When he gets back, he will bring this up. Hey, bruv. Hey, Taco. We got a spare jar of honey for y'all. Ask Denims about peach.
All right, what's my time? What'd I get? Hey, what's my time? Was someone timing it?
I wasn't counting.
Oh, it's going to be a record. Sorry, I just interrupted. I'll leave you to it.
What is my Twitch? I will follow you. Clicky. That's very kind.
Oh, we should put it in chat. Can one of the mods? Oh, actually, I'll just do it.
Twitch.tv/Dr. Disrespect Live.
Don't you like
All right, can I just quickly run to the bathroom?
Yes, you do your thing. Right. You do your thing, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. 14 minutes, 8 seconds. Jesus.
I'll be right back.
Nah, you do your thing, man. Appreciate it. Ooh. I need to get special effects. I'm so far behind. I don't have any special effects, dude. God, and can I just say as well, I'm jealous as fuck of that Secret Labs chair. Oh my God. I want one so bad. So bad. Big thanks to everyone's hanging out today. You guys are amazing. Oh, Descendant. You bloody legend with a 15-month sub. Oh, you're too good to me, dude. Can I thank a few people quickly as well? Thank a few people, not just Descendant with the uwu. 15 months, bro. Descendant, how you doing, brother? Welcome in. Descendant's not even, Tavor's not even hosting me. Oh, we're going to have to rip him about that. No, I don't want to make him feel bad. I get it. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about me. He's only here for the cloud. I get it. He don't care. I'm just joking. Tavor, incredible guest, by the way. I'm loving it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the ride as well. But quick thank you to a few people. SCM Billanta, hopefully I said that right. Thank you for the follow. Small Cosmic, thank you for the raid. 21 people, absolute legend. All the small Cosmic heads, welcome in. Clickety Crisp. I said that completely wrong. My mouse was, in my defense, Sir Crisp. My mouse was blocking part of your name and I didn't move it. So there you go. Clickety Crisp, thank you for the follow. It's Ryan B, thank you for the follow. Denims, I don't know why I'm having weird dyslexia trying to read that name, but I just do. Forgive me. Thank you for the follow. And thank you for the raid as well. 33 people. And Leela, hopefully I said that right, Leela. Hopefully I said that right. Welcome in. Very lovely name. I are different as well. Thank you for the 8 months. You said such a touching story. Glad you're using it to do what you do because of what we were talking about with Table earlier. And if you haven't, make sure, quick little promo as well, quickly. And Shane Foster, thank you for the 2 months, dude. Prime sub, you're the best, buddy, bro. Absolute legend. Jack Yeager, Jacko G Freak, holy shit, so many people today. Kia Starbuck, Sunny Spider, Jados Paydo, hopefully I'm saying that right. Dake Aduro, hopefully I'm saying that right. Kimishiro, I think I've already said these people. Thank you for all the follows. Appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Oh my god, I said it right. Oh, good shit, Leela. It was great to have you here. Absolute legend. Bro, you beat me. You beat my record by a mile.
Oh, peeing.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I blasted out. Like doctors are going to be studying my abdominal muscles.
We can be like two opposite ends of the spectrum for the study. I'll be the one. I swear, my urethra just is like the most narrow. Look, don't get any ideas with the rest of the package, okay? It doesn't mean anything.
Thin urethra means nothing.
Oh my god, thin urethra, but big heart. You know what I mean?
Well,
I should have stated
I mentioned before I was a body piercer. I pierced a lot of dicks.
Yeah.
I know a lot about dicks.
Do you know what's funny? You bring that up because when you said you were a body piercer, I actually was straight away wanting to ask you about that. And then we moved. Yeah. I was going to be like, you pierced some dicks. Yeah. Tell me about.
I mentioned a lot of things, and then we just got into like robots and fuck.
I know, dude. It's the biggest tangent. I love it, man. I love it. Like we got to go there. We fucking got to go there. Like. Obviously, like, you had to pierce your first dick at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was, like, the vibe? There had to be a little weird. Had to be a little weird, like, all right, what do you do? Like, all right, can you please pull out the member? Like, I'm just gonna sanitize the tip with my little tip sanitizer.
Yeah, we gotta, what is it? What's betadine?
They've got what is that shit? Saline
there's an alcohol
solution?
swab,
No.
but there's also a
I know you
Bactine swab.
Ah, okay.
So one's viral, one's bacterial.
Swabbing the dick. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I sat in on a lot of my mentor piercing dicks, and then so I was already used to it.
Bro, like, how could you not laugh a little bit during it? Like, I would be sitting there with the biggest cheesy grin on my face.
You know what?
Like, we're piercing dicks. What has my life become?
You think you're gonna, man. You think you're gonna. But then a man flops out his dick and he trusts you. He's putting his dick in your care.
And you got this fucking big thing that's gonna go through the dick. Oh, well, man.
I mean, I don't know how dark. Like, do you know what a Prince Albert is? Do you know actually what's happening anatomically?
I would believe that Prince Albert, because that's the one I know. That's the one I know. Someone said, then it's just, they're looking you in the face. them. And yeah, what if you lock eyes with the person as you're piercing them? That would be weird.
I got to know the person before I did it. Like, I got to know, yeah.
Really? She said that. All right. So I imagine the Prince Albert. Look, it's the foreskin, right? You're piercing the foreskin. Do you actually pierce?
No.
No, I thought it was just foreskin. You actually pierce the dick. The
so
dick
let's
of the
just
dick.
say we're looking at the underside of a penis.
All right. Oh, good. Yeah.
It's an arrow. Like there's like two things that fold into a tip, right?
Yes.
Towards the urethra.
Yes. Okay.
So you go in. You go in at the base of that triangle into the urethra and then out the urethra. And there's a ring that goes through. So it goes through the meat of your penis out the urethra.
Bro, I don't know.
You can get a foreskin piercing, but that's not a Prince Albert.
How the fuck?
I feel like I'm weirding people out in chat.
Open your eyes, sheeple. You need to hear this. This is how does it work? Like there's got to be some. Jules has said it right. There was a person that...
By the way, I was not into I loved being a body piercer, and I was damn fucking good at it.
Oh, I bet.
But I didn't really have any piercings. I wasn't really into how they looked.
Yeah,
anyway,
right.
Sorry, you were saying with drawers, huh?
Well, yeah, it's just like someone had to be the first to do that. Someone had to be like, I'm gonna do this. Bro, I mean, there's got to be some complications. Someone's definitely had a dick piercing going wrong.
Yeah, for sure. But most of those problems were figured out long ago, and that's why good body piercers, we know, and we'll just tell you, no, you can't. So we had a guy who wanted silicone implants in his penis. And what that involved was little silicone balls put under the skin, so you get like a ridge to your penis. And,
I'm guessing it's for a bit of pleasure for the partner, right?
Yes.
Or it's not for an aesthetic.
He came in with his girlfriend, and she was like, this is what we want. And we took him aside, and we examined his anatomy, and we said to him, we're sorry, we can't work with that. Like, we can't do it.
Oh,
and his missus was like, no, you're gonna do it. And we were like, what the fuck?
Okay, so I have a question. What was the reason that you couldn't do it? Like, was it just he wasn't big enough. He didn't have enough room to put it in comfortably. It would have caused him discomfort. And when I was a body piercer, we prided ourselves on I would say no if I had any kind of inclination that you couldn't get it done. And that would range from a bridge piercing to an earlobe to anything. I would just be no, I'm not doing it. Yeah. Oh boy. That's
yes.
That's two low blows in one day. You can't get your
didn't tell him that
balls in. Oh, okay. Well, surely he wanted to know. What do you tell him otherwise?
We just said anatomically it's not going to work. Yeah.
Oh, he knew.
Yeah.
He knew. He looked at the size of the silicone balls and he straight away was like, yeah, that ain't fitting in me.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Look, I'm sure you have to be a man of some form of girth to have the room to put a couple of silicone balls under the skin. I imagine that shit would be pretty painful.
Yeah.
Even after the fact, I just feel like it can't be good putting anything under there.
It's a tricky thing. And that's a lot of people always go don't you feel weird or don't you feel a bit challenged, holding a man's penis? It's like, man, when you've got to pierce a dude's dick and you've got his dick in your hand, you're not thinking about the sexual connotations. You're thinking, I'm going to take care of your dick. I promise you I won't fuck your shit up. I promise.
Here's the thing. Okay, here's a weird fucking thought. And I've thought this before. If I ever had to go to a hospital and get something checked on my PP, to put it lightly, just to lighten the mood a little bit in the chat there, and that's to unlighten it. I've always wondered what would happen if I got a boner.
What, during?
Yeah, during we're just gonna check for any lumps or anything. I'm like, oh, hold on a minute, hold on, I gotta go what if that happens?
Like a real hot nurse, just
I don't know, man. I'm like a little bit of oversharing, but I crack them at the drop of a hat. So I'm like,
oh man, you sit on a bus, like you sit on a bus, it's just rocking just kind of right, you know. You're like, oh shit, I'm getting off the next stop.
Bro, bus is the worst culprit. Buses are the best lovers. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. There are people that fuck their cars though.
I'm not kidding, man.
It's a
fucking
thing.
hell. Buses fuck me up.
Oh my god, it's true though. It's fucking true.
By the way, I pierced vaginas as well.
Really? So I mean, because it's a clitoris, right? The clitoris.
Yeah, there's several kinds you can get.
Right.
Not all of them are clitoris. Yeah.
So I can't even. That's one of the ones I think surely that fucks some shit up, you know? Because that's a very sensitive little item you have there.
You don't pierce the clitoris. You pierce the clitoris hood. So you pierce the bit of flesh over the top.
I'm an idiot. I thought it was legit going through the fucking.
Well, there are some pierces. There is a piercing that involves that, and at the time, I mean, I've been out of the piercing game for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
so
right.
it might have changed. But at the time, I was like, no, I think that's morally incorrect because it does have a chance of
fucking some shit up.
Yeah.
My science.
And I wouldn't even do a clitoris hood piercing on a girl who didn't have a big clitoris hood. If you didn't have much room, it's just going to cause you discomfort. Like, that's what I was big on. We were big on, no, like, we're going to tell you why you can't have it.
You got to have the hoods for the goods. You know what I mean? Oh my god. I had a science teacher that used to tell me, and this is partially true, I believe, but he would say that the clitoris is an undeveloped penis. And look, I do get where he was coming from, because I do believe it's like when we're first born, we could go either way, and it kind of like it was some shit. But then I thought, like, isn't like it chromosome shit? I don't know. I'm not a science guy, but I remember him telling me that, and I was like, so if I ever like, I don't know. It's like it's you know what I mean?
I feel like it's an unnecessary statement.
Exactly.
It's kind of like saying we could have all been chimpanzees because we're close to, like, yeah, okay.
I think he was just loving the nature of just saying it's a penis. Yo, you like vaginas? Well, you like dicks as well.
Yeah, like, bitch. Yeah. The clique reckons we all start as a female first. I've heard that.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny though, isn't it? Because like in Christian, because I grew up in a Christian family, not so much of the faith these days. Not to, happy Easter, everyone. But it's funny because they state, that the first person on Earth was male, and that they made, like, that was Adam, obviously, cool man. But then they also made, cool man, you want a medal? First person on Earth, cool man, whatever. You fucked up for the rest. You ate the apple. I'm not giving you a medal. But God then was like, hey, he should have a side bitch. So he pulled the fucking he took the fucking the rib out, and he made him a lovely young lady. And it's like, so yeah, it's interesting though, isn't it? That then science would tell us that the women come first because of I
get what you're getting at. So it's I was like, still strung up on the, like, you need a side bitch.
Because that's how God talked, dude. I like 100%, like, guaranteed. He was like,
but yeah, like, because I get what you're actually saying fundamentally, because a lot of religious documents are based upon our understanding of ourselves at the time. So
if science then says that, like, the micro cellular organism, trying to sound smart, work with me here, people. It starts as a female and can go the way, but it starts female, and then you can, which makes sense if it's a little undeveloped peen as the clitoris, and then turns into a dick. It's like, it kind of is a little bit like, okay, that kind of goes a little bit backwards on the teachings. I don't know. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, as written, Eve was the side bitch. Yeah, exactly. In the newer New Testament. You've been reading the New Testament? No, the newer New Testament.
The new one. The new.
Yeah, the new updated Testament. Yeah. The 2000 Testament. They decided they'd update it for our speak.
Thou shalt be the side hoe.
That's definitely going to the New Testament. Oh, someone's been reading up on their New Testament. Good work. Bless you, my child. Bless you, my child. Been reading your dad. I had a weird thought. I watched there's a YouTuber called Leon Lush. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's been on the come up really suddenly. Leon Lush, really funny dude. I started watching him when he barely had much going on, like a couple of thousand subs. Now he's like, I think close to 1 million, if not 1 million or so. He's, I'm trying to think. Someone gave him a shout out. I know. Not that this is like maybe starting to be overly proud. Well, I have no problem with him, but a lot of people. Keemstar gave him like a couple of shout outs. For a while, I think that gave him a bit of exposure. And I think he's been in a couple of Mr. Beast videos. He actually was one of the winners of that circle challenge. He was in the circle. You know how they stood in the circle for a certain amount of time for money? So, did you remember that? Mr. Beast was like stand in this circle and you win money. He was like one of the guys in that. And he did a recent collaboration with a UK YouTuber called I'm Alex, who's also kind of come up recently. And they did like a little collaboration, but they did it in a hotel room. And they were doing a reaction video to this guy who did exorcisms, like these church exorcisms on people that were possessed. Funny video, actually. It was kind of super funny. Hey, Wombat, thank you for the 100 bits. What a ledge. I haven't had bits in a little hot minute, so that's very lovely. Wombat,
bro, bits are underrated. I underestimated bits. And then one day I looked at like my Twitch earnings and it was like the breakdown of bits, and I was like, oh shit. Like,
oh man, bits kind of come into play. Although, man, I don't know. At the same time, Twitch takes a big fuck off cut. And then so when people actually like donate through like PayPal, it's like holy shit! Like at least Twitch isn't taking that money. I know PayPal takes a little bit, but yeah, Twitch makes bank, dude. They got a lucrative biz going on.
Oh man, I have a mate who loves donating $1 to me, and it's like you're actually donating 67 cents.
Yeah, well that's right.
Like,
well, in bits, I mean. Wait, $1 or
no? In PayPal.
Oh, in PayPal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He just does it for the troll, but it's like I get the point of the joke, but you're actually just giving PayPal money.
PayPal's getting money, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Quickly before I get though with the thing, so they all of a sudden Leon Lush was like, hey, maybe because they were pretending to do exorcisms in the like to meme on it, and he's like, oh, do we have a Bible in here? And he actually look, yeah, sure, this could be set up, but they were very, you could tell it wasn't. And he reached behind into the drawer of the hotel room, pulled a Bible out. I was like, oh my god, we do have a like, what the fuck? And it's like true. And I said, hey, it's so weird that like, yeah, most hotels and motels you go to, if you open up the drawer, there's a Bible in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
do you know who it's placed by? You look on the back, placed here by the Gideons. It's one group that do it.
Wait,
called the Gideons.
Hold up. I always assumed it was the fucking the hotel itself. Like it has.
Nah.
Do people actually go around and put Bibles in?
I think like that's who you go to if you want a Bible, but it's the Gideons.
What the fuck?
I heard about this because one of my favorite comedians who's passed away now, rest in peace, Bill Hicks, he talks about this. He's like, how come every fucking hotel has a Bible in it placed by the Gideons? He's like, have any of you met a Gideon? Who the fuck are the Gideons?
What, I'm trying to think. I mean, it sounds like a biblical thing, the Gideons. I'm trying to think if that's... Yeah, shit, man. Because I thought about it all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, shit, there's like a link and everything. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I posted in chat. Yeah, they're the Gideons. Every Bible in a hotel you ever go to, it'll say in the back or the front or something like that, placed here by the Gideons.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, these guys, like, they apparently self-fund their shit to put Bibles everywhere. I've got a Bible in my house. I have a Bible, and it's right next. This is the edgiest thing you'll ever hear.
Oh, shit.
Well, not like me today, anyway. It's next to the Satanic Bible. So I have the normal Bible and the Satanic Bible.
You're holding the balance of the universe right now. If you separate them, you will unleash hell on
We're fucked.
Yeah. We're fucked. We're damn fucked. I mean, I grew up like with Bibles everywhere because I grew up in a Christian family, and I feel like if I need a Bible, there was a Bible for like
available.
Yeah, it was always readily available. I don't know if we have any in the house. Tate Pray has one somewhere.
Well, I wasn't raised in a religious family, but after my foster mother passed away, one day, well, it kept happening, but one day, the Jehovah's Witnesses knocked on my door.
Okay.
And just so you guys know, like when our foster mother passed away, like I mentioned before, like, we were essentially forced to be adults. Yeah. Well, our house got condemned. Like we were living it was just a squalor. It was black mold. All the windows were broken. It was fucked.
Yeah,
and, and these Jehovah's Witnesses knocked on the door and said, like, hey, is there any chance we could come in and talk about the Bible? And I was a big stoner at the time, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, come on in, boys. And they came in, and I ended up doing Bible study with them for 6 months. And those guys, man, they repaired all our windows. They bought us groceries for 3 months. And they never asked for a single thing back. Wow. Jehovah's Witnesses. And so I did a lot of Bible studies. So I'm not a religious, I have a bit of faith in religion, but but like it changed my life, you know?
Holy shit, dude.
And I kind of respect the Bible, even though I understand the evils of religion and what it's done to our modern world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But man, you know, it depends on the person. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. Religion doesn't make or break the person. It doesn't change the person. It doesn't make him a better or worse person. That's the problem. I mean, I went to church growing up, and there was a lot of shitty people, dude. A lot of people in it for themselves. A lot of self-righteous people. And there was a lot of problems in church. Like, I saw it with my parents. You know, they dealt with a lot of people that would make them just feel trash. You know what I mean? In a certain way. And a lot of very disingenuous people in the Christian circle. Well, there's a lot of lovely people. But the thing is, I'm sure they would have been lovely without the Christian faith anyway. And I'm sure the shitty people would have been shitty without the Christian faith. Faith doesn't give you like a ticket to be it doesn't mean you're a better or worse human. It's just what you believe. I don't know where all of a sudden we've gone to a point where faith makes you better than someone else, because those people seem like they have a good soul. You know what I mean? Like you don't just get that kind of generous mindset
this guy's name,
just from a religion.
His name was Alan, and like this guy is a fucking like a biblical angel, man. Like this guy, dude. I was a dick, man. Like I did Bible study. Like, oh yeah,
you're trying to like trolling a bit.
Yeah, you talk about no violence. What about the Crusades, bitch?
Well, that's it. They'd be expecting that. A lot of people that kind of give them the time of day are probably memeing on a little bit. They're probably used to it, and they probably take it as like all right, well, I'm and a lot of people just want to debate with them, and they'd be very happy to throw down, motherfucker, in the nice way.
Yeah, but he killed you with kindness.
Yeah, man.
This guy, man, he had this lovely, loving family, and he was a window washer, and he was happy being a window washer for the rest of his days, because it honestly, like, I could tell, man, like, he just saw me as this, like, fuck, like, he saw me as this, like, and he was right. Like, if he did not been, like, you know what I mean? Like, I could go a real bad way, and I could have. I was in that threshold, and he just tried to really show me compassion and love and kindness, and never asked for a single thing in return. Yeah, and it's like, you can say what you want about religion, but that was huge to me, man. That was massive.
I mean, do you believe that religion is the reason for that, or do you reckon that is where his heart's at? That's the thing. It's like,
fuck, that's a good question.
Did he do it because of religion, or is he just a natural born what's the word for it? Someone that just cares. I mean, it's rare to have that. It's like it was like, would have he been like that if he didn't get into you know?
Oh, maybe not. Hey, that's a good way to put it, man. Like maybe religion was just his channel for that. And you know, like man, I was in a death metal band. Like I've been through my fights with religion. Like as in, I've seen religion as this beautiful saving thing, and what I mean by mentioning a death metal band is like the culture of death metal was
which is funny because there are Christian death metal bands now, which is so funny.
But it's like that general culture was like it's toxic and it's destroying humanity, religion. So like I've seen both sides of it, and like maybe it was just a channel. Maybe he was that spirit within anyway, but I don't know. To me, ultimately, it doesn't matter, because he found this thing, and this dude is doing better in life and better for people than I could ever hope to dream.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Look, I think if people find their peace through it, there's no reason why we shouldn't let them have that. I think it's that there's people that are very heavy-handed with it. I think there's people that are very quick to try and force their beliefs down other people's throats in a form of trying to save people. But it's that's where they kind of ruin it for themselves. I think I have no problem with people believing what they want to believe, but it's when they start causing trouble because they want other people to buy into it. Look, I believe that there's a greater being. It's almost like, how the fuck could you not? It's like we've come from somewhere And we are not the most powerful beings in the universe. No fucking way. Like there's a
thing.
There's
something beyond us.
It's like
I agree.
It has to start somewhere, and our small tiny brains can't comprehend how the fuck there's just an infinite amount of shit, and there's a lot we can't comprehend. And there's something out there that,
like, sorry, I'm really bad.
I like it.
It could be as grandiose as a bearded, esoteric man in the sky, or it could be as simple and mundane as an energy, like as all matter is just energy condensed to a vibration, and that vibration continues no matter what, whether you're living or not. Like it could be either of those things or anywhere in between. But yeah, there's something. Something's going on.
Yeah, but the thing is, we just don't know. There's no definitive answer to it. And I think the people that are spouting, like, the thing is, isn't it funny though? It's like there's not just one religion. There's like multiple religions across the world. So it's like, what makes your religion the right one? It's like you can have faith, go for it, believe in it. If that's what you want to believe, you've chosen that. But you can't know for sure. You believe in a blind faith. And that's the thing. You would test. It's like the test. You've got to believe, and you hope that you chose the right one. You get to heaven. But
I think you're right. Like I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast with Russell Brand.
I watched the DMT part because I was like, "What the fuck is DMT? Everyone's talking about." So I haven't watched the whole thing. I want to watch the whole thing.
You never done DMT?
Wait, are you fucking with me?
Yeah, I've done proper DMT.
Okay, we need to after you say I'll roll back because you need to explain. I am so fucking lost. I'm curious.
Like, it's Russell Brand, guys. Like everyone in chat right now, like I know what you may or may not think about Russell Brand. I'm not trying to hold him as some penultimate spiritual fucking leader.
I think the dude's very intelligent. I think he might spurt, like any intelligent person, I'm sure they spurt a couple of little ad libs that deep down they're like, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I think they, at the center of things, they have some knowledge on shit that we should at least give them the time of day.
Everyone's experience is worthwhile, right?
Exactly.
And he had a very poignant point where he said to Joe Rogan, he was like, let's take something as mundane as like, I'm a vegan and you like hunting and eating meat. He's like, I'm sure we are adversaries, so to speak, on that point. He's like, but what I've come to learn later in life is that my spiritual journey, and spiritual, you could take that as like a hippie, like
a whole bunch of ways.
Or your personal development as a human.
Yeah.
He was essentially like, that has no bearing on you or anybody else. It's mine. It's not anybody else's.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I just learned that you can't approach life like that. Like, why aren't you a vegan? Or why don't you believe in God? Or like, it's your thing.
Yeah.
And like,
and you're never going to change the world with it. But that's the thing.
Exactly.
But the vegans are like, but animals are still dying, so we need to save them. It's like they're so passionate in it. And the same with
I get that though. I mean, if what you consider is
absolutely.
It's dying. Yeah, I get it. But
absolutely. I mean, the thing I always find, wrapping up, I guess the religion talk in a way. I don't mind either way, but the one thing I've kind of always found funny is that the Bible, any Bible, is written with human hands.
Yep.
And they say that they've been told what to say through visions or through experiences. And it's like, I would say to my mum, like, but why don't we see acts of, like, miracles now? Why don't we see these, like, weird things, like, water to wine and all this shit? Like, why has Jesus not come back and all this stuff? Like, you know what I mean? Like, all this, like you read the
miraculous
Bible. Like, and I didn't read it front to back, but I definitely read lots of bits and pieces.
Bro, honestly, you're not meant to read the Bible front to back. It's a series of books. Anyway.
And
sorry.
No, you're right. But yeah, it's and it's like, but she's like, but that was the biblical times. I'm like, that seems odd. And I just think, look, we're believing this fucking book that was written with human hands, and they were given visions, or it was stuff that supposedly happened. It's fucking years, man. Like how long ago was the Bible written? Like
2000
like a crazy amount of time. Like if someone wrote a book like that now, yeah, you'd have some fucking crazies, Scientology, that would probably get into it. But let's be real, like, most people are not going to buy into that shit.
No.
Why do we believe a fucking book that was written like 2,000 plus years ago in a time where we were so, like, so far behind what we are now, yet we still believe it and we still fucking, I don't know, man. It's weird. Like,
no, you're right. And I don't have an answer for that. Like, even as someone who finds a little bit of value in the Bible, I really don't have an answer for that. Like, why the fuck are we following a 2,000-year-old book?
Yeah. And look, this is going to sound like a certain... The book was written mostly in a place that spurs quite a bit of violence. Yeah. And I just think this is odd. Like, we're talking about these holy wars and these, this country that is, spurring some pretty terrifying shit. Yet we're reading a book that was mostly written from that region. It just, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me, and I feel like it's very odd that. Look, I get it, I have no problem. People can believe what they want. I'm not hating on it at all because my family believes it, and I believe to a degree about certain things. I just think. Like I said, I believe there is some sort of greater being, but I'm not going to let some sort of random book that was written in a bit of a kind of perhaps backwards region, even today, where they're fucking killing people because of the holy war and whatnot, because of their beliefs. And it's like, well, why would I believe it's kind of wild at this point that we've come so far, but we're willing to completely still base our lives around this ancient book. It seems just so backwards.
It's silly.
Yeah,
it's really silly.
Yeah.
The aspects that I like about it are, I like to think, aspects that any rational person would like. Like, don't wish harm upon your fellow man. Yeah. Try and help. Try and be good. But then you get to a chapter and it's like, don't wear cotton with silk or you'll get flogged 36 times and then go to hell. What the fuck, man?
I mean, look, this is going to be a fucking real hot take, but the Bible is a lot of fear-mongering. Like, the Bible is like, follow us or die. Go to hell. Like, here's the thing. Is this not like the easiest thing to do? Just say like, oh, hey, there's this place, amazing place, that if you follow everything we say, you get to go to this magical place that you have whatever you want. Oh, it's all yours. You will live a life without pain. You'll be youthful forever, all this stuff. The streets are paved with gold, they say. Okay. Like, that seems weird from the start that you'd say that because it's very, like, materialistic, but okay. But then, hey, but if you don't follow us and you don't do what we say, you will burn for eternity. In this fucking... And it's like, that seems very fucking like... That's what's
weird to me.
And I don't
I never needed it. I like things from the Bible, and that Bible study helped me, but I never needed eternal life. I never needed heaven. I don't care. I could die and that's it. Yeah. What I like is I like making someone's day. I like making someone feel good. I like helping someone out. I like making a girl come. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
who doesn't?
These are nice things. These are things that are nice, and I like doing them. So that's what matters.
Piercing some wains. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I felt bad for those dudes, but they have to sit down to pee. By the way, dudes with Prince Alberts, they can't stand up and pee. It just
sprays everywhere. Like, it's kind of a bit.
It dribbles.
Dude, that's like, why do it then? Like, that's like, that count me out straight away. I was about to go straight down to my local piercer and be like, hey, one Prince Albert, please.
Hook me up!
Yeah, I'm sold. But yeah, so I don't know. I think it's just, I think we just need to be decent dudes. And I think, dudes and dudettes, for dudes 2019. Just covering all the bases. But, look, I think any book that uses fear to kind of make you believe it's such a tactic, man. And I think that Christianity has a lot that is right. But as I grew up,
a lot more.
Dude, I was in it for like 20 of my 30 years of living. And finally I decided as I got in my 20s, I thought fucking long as hard, dude. But you know what? The reason I didn't back out of Christianity straight away, I was scared. I was fucking terrified, dude.
Of what?
Of going against Christianity. I was scared. I was terrified because I thought if I back out, I may burn in hell for eternity.
Yeah, they really put that in you.
20 fucking years, dude. And it's horrible. I was terrified, man. Growing up as a kid, fucking terrified. And I think like no one should have to feel that way. So I have negative feelings towards Christianity. And it's like, because I lived it for 20 of my 30 something years. And it's like, so no hate to anyone that is part of that. But dude, that's bad.
That's bad.
I'm allowed
it's
to
not good.
It's like I can speak on it. I'm not one of those people that's just like, fuck your religion, bitch. Like, and not have lived it for a single day. I lived it for 20 years, going to church every Sunday for 20 years, until I had free will. And I was terrified, dude. Bro, here's a real moment for you as a kid. My dad fucking watch movies with the fucking volume turned up like a crazy fucker. So I do the same now. I'm like far like son. But I was playing with my toys in my fucking room, whatever I did as a kid, and I heard these fucking trumpets going off. I fucking ran out of my room, terrified. I thought Jesus was coming back, dude. I thought I was going to die. It freaks me out.
The rapture.
Because they say there'll be trumpets in the sky.
Yeah, the rapture.
I came out, my dad was watching, it was literally like the intro to like a Ben-Hur or some shit. And I was like, thank fuck. I was terrified. I was shaking. I thought, because I liken the rapture, because it's like, they say to you, you'll be beamed the fuck up. You'll taken to heaven. Like you'll just be zapped straight away up. You disappear.
Or condemned to an eternity of suffering.
Which, you know what? Back then I didn't even think that was an option. I was like, no, I'll go to heaven because I was a good kid. Because I fucking followed every teaching in that way. You know what I mean? And it's ridiculous. So it's like, what are we teaching our kids? Like, are we teaching our kids to be fucking scared of this magic man? It's like, so if anyone's like, gee, Matt's going in on it, on my religion, it's like, let's say our religion, because I lived it for like
I just don't care. You have no right to make a kid feel that way, man.
I don't think you should teach your kids it. I think they need to. You can offer them the option. You can give them a fucking Bible and say, hey, have a read if you want. Feel inclined. Well, don't drag them to church.
I came upon the Bible in a nice way. Like, there are things about I'm smart enough to know the bad and the good, and I came upon the Bible in a really nice way, and I got to have nice things from it. Yeah, I'm rare. Dude, that's fucked, man. It's very rare. I'm really sorry to hear, dude.
Look, my parents are amazing. I love my parents. And they still, I think, believe that I will come back to it at some point. I will never. I've been too damaged by it. You know what I mean? Too damaged. And not saying my life is bad in any way. I love my life. But the thing is, as soon as I dropped all that shit, life became so much better. Life became so much better, dude. Because I didn't have to worry about it. That was actually a worry. Like I was worried. And I might still burn in hell. I might have gotten it wrong. But hey, but the thing is, I'm a decent dude. I'm a good guy. I hope that, if something was like that, it wouldn't be just because I didn't follow you. I just had to burn in hell. It should go off if you contributed positively to
what
life.
Was in your soul.
Yeah, but just because
and your soul, I believe in.
But just because you weren't a born again Christian, you burn in hell. Yep. Okay, that's interesting. So you let someone burn because they just didn't follow you. Seems kind of a little bit aggressive in my eyes.
Yeah. You ever seen that Stephen Fry interview about it? What would you do if you died and you went to heaven? And,
you're at the pearly gates.
You got to meet God. Yep. And he said, and Stephen Fry's thing was like, why are there insects that bury their way out from children's eyeballs? Why is that a thing? Why does that exist?
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
There's a type of insect in
won't be sleeping tonight.
They bury inside your brain. They bury inside your face, and they eat their way out from your eyeballs.
Oh my god! But exactly.
That's what Stephen Fry said. He's like, that's no fucking God that I want to spend my life with, and I agree, man. Like, that's just. But I believe, but it's like I don't believe in that.
But you know what? But you know what they say. They say
goodness.
But they would say
the thing you feel.
But if you said that to someone of the Christian faith, they'd say that's the devil at work. That's the cop out. That's the cop out. They'd go, that's the devil at work. We need to believe, we need to, and it's like, nah, dude. So it's like, dude. that's just, that's my take on it.
I agree with your take.
No hate towards anyone that believes anything of that. Like, literally no hate. But it's just about, especially if you're born into it.
You've only talked about the bad thing. And like, I don't think anyone here, if there's anyone here that like believed in it, like, I believe in aspects of it, but I don't like that. That's bad. Like, that's clearly bad. And anyone who I think fucks with that and believes in that, that's bad, man. And you're just a bad person. Look, simply put.
Wait, you mean like Christianity or?
No, like the bad aspects that you talked about, the bad aspects of it, like the fear and the It's just horrible, man.
Teaching fear, but they do it because it's like they think they're giving people the chance to have the ticket to heaven. Like it's a cult, dude. It's a fucking cult. But it's incredible how many people are bought into it. I'm like, how do you believe this? How do so many people so just open to just blindly leading this one book that has apparently every answer? It's so weird, dude. It trips me the fuck out.
It's really weird.
We have so much free will, dude. I think as long as you respect life around you, I think that's all you can do. I think you can believe what you want to believe. That's totally fine. Just don't ram it down people's throats.
Yep.
And don't use fear tactics to scare your fucking kids. Like, and look, I won't say it was really my parents. It was like you go to fucking church and they say all that shit. Like, they teach these kids this stuff in Sunday school. You know, you go like with a bunch of other kids to, you know, while adults have their church, and they'd still be like teaching you basically about terrifying things. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's insane, man. It's insane. So yeah, it's I don't know.
We watched
something to think about.
You ever seen the movie The Witch?
I don't believe I have.
It's my favorite horror movie of all time, and
really?
I watched it again last night.
I love horror movies, so maybe I didn't delve in.
This is a horror movie that's unlike any horror movie.
Is it on Netflix or is it?
It is now.
Okay, good.
The horror happens inside you. The horror, there's no jump scares. There's nothing like that. There's no actual horrific shit that happens on screen, but the horror happens in your mind.
Yeah, those kind of movies fuck with me, dude.
A big element of it is religion, and it's set during the settler era, where like it was like all Christianity was like, you are evil, you are born into sin, God hates you, and you better pray for forgiveness.
Yeah.
And it's fucked. The whole thing is about like kids just getting cooked and turning psychopathic because
I have to check it out, dude. Look,
it's a good movie.
I never watched horror movies growing up ever. I was terrified. I see a trailer of a horror movie and I freaked the fuck out as a kid. It scarred me. But that's because a lot of horror movies do have that supernatural or that religious
jump
baseline. No, not the jump scare, just the religion, because I didn't get scared by jumps. Like, yeah, it will fucking make me shit myself a little bit, but I'm more scared of the things you can't see. As soon as they show what the force is in a movie behind the scares, I kind of go, oh yeah, okay, I'm not that scared anymore. But if you never see what it is, your mind just plays tricks, dude. It's like Paranormal Activity. You never see, those movies freak me the fuck out because you don't ever see what the force is. You just see things happening, but you never see what it is, and that's what it lets your mind fill in the blanks or wonder. And I do believe there's a paranormal in some way because I've heard enough. I've never seen anything myself, but I've heard enough people that are reputable say they've seen certain things. I've heard enough accounts of it, and that's where I'm more likely to believe because I feel like people have said they've seen shit. Whereas like, what Christian-based stuff have you seen? Not trying to bring that back, but that's why
the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather kind of delve on like.
Well, that's the best kind of fear, man. My favorite horror author is H.P. Lovecraft, who
what does he do? I've heard the name.
1912. He wrote Call of Cthulhu.
Okay.
You may have heard, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And his studies, I mean, a lot of people hate him because he was very, very racist and all this sort of stuff. But as a literature author, his whole exploration of horror was the fundamental fear, which he coined as it's being huddled around the fire when you're a caveman and the sounds in the woods in the dark that you can't see and you can't. That's the real fear, the thing beyond. Dude. Yeah, and I agree, man.
I mean, you see like a depiction of like the boogeyman in a movie and you're like, is that it? Like, you know what I mean? Like literally you could watch like Star Wars and see like Darth Maul and he's like, okay, like he looks as scary as like the demons in any horror movie. So that's why it's like, we've seen it all, but it's what we don't see that freaks us the fuck out. You know?
It's our imagination. Like you said,
exactly.
You said it.
I mean,
you're creating.
I watched as a kid, I watched the tail end of the Blair Witch Project because it was on TV as a kid. I thought, I'm brave enough now, I'll watch it. I watched like the tail end. Didn't see a single thing, just heard screams and weird camera shakes and shit. And that was enough to freak me out for years, dude. That fucked me because I believed in, you know, obviously, I had the Christian faith, and I just thought this shit is real in ways. Like I believe there's something. Like I believed there was shit that like I would even be scared of fucking angels because they tell you like angels are constantly watching you. It's like you always have an angel watching you, and it's like, well, I don't want an angel. Like I'd be in my room fucking at night thinking, nice, cool, man.
That goes back to, I think that goes back to your thing you were saying before about like the religion and
that's exactly right.
That's not cool. Like that's scary, man.
Yeah, for kids, man, it's fucking terrible. Even for adults, dude. It's like I don't want to fucking have. What if I'm doing the hanky panky? You know what I mean? I don't want no angel watching me, dude.
Bruh.
I don't want them shits watching me.
I do not need my ancestors watching me masturbate. All right,
bro. There's that meme where it is like the guy's like looking a bit like, you know, about to kind of do the deed, and it's like looking up. It's kind of like a gradient, and you see the clouds with his like grandparents looking down, like as he's about to like jerk off, and it's like I don't really want to think about that.
Yeah, I like Subplay. All right, I have a subscription to Brazzers Plus. Don't judge me!
Dude, it's like, I mean...
Fuck!
I believe there's probably... Look, I do believe there's probably some sort of... I mean, like I said, people see shit, man. Like, people see shit. And I'm like, there couldn't be that many... Like, there's too many people I know that have said that they've seen things very vividly. And yeah, it could be our minds playing tricks, but I do believe at that point, it's like they're very reputable people. They wouldn't lie.
Yeah.
Maybe they would, but there's too many. That's the thing. There's too many people. So that's where you go, okay, well, I'll kind of put that into my findings and kind of believe it a little bit more, perhaps, because of what I've heard. I haven't seen anything. Have you ever seen anything paranormal? Have you, like, had anything like that?
Nah, I don't think I have, man.
Yeah,
I really don't think I have. I've always had this thing too, as well. It's like my missus, she's really, she hates paranormal. Like she loves it. She loves paranormal.
But that's a thing.
But she hates it.
Yeah.
But I always say to her, if I ever saw a ghost, I wouldn't be afraid because it would confirm to me that there is life after death.
Well, that's true. That is true.
So like, it's not a big deal. Just
it's
like you'd be right.
Exactly. It's slightly just more answers. And I've got no answers at this point, other than what other people have said, which is super weird. It's like you know, you go to say people that like can maybe like read minds or do like what's a good example? Even people that just like can you know conjure loved ones and shit. And it's very hard to believe that shit. But if you did go to something like that and they did manage, but then it could be smoke and mirrors. But it's like, I don't know. I just have never had anything like that epiphany moment of like, oh, it's real for myself.
Yeah, neither.
So it's like, it's very hard to I don't really want to believe anything unless I've seen it with my own eyes. And that might be like a negative or a positive. I feel like you really should probably have a little bit of proof before you kind of spout like whether something's real, like confirmed.
I think that's rational.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, dude, I don't know, man. It's you're never gonna stop it. That's the thing. Like, and nor should we really try and stop people believing what they believe, of course. But you're never gonna stop the people that try and force it down your throat or their beliefs or anything like that. But yeah, I do hope I see something eventually.
I do think that it's a bit. I've often think about and meditate on the fact that it's a bit strange how, like zealotry in its. I don't know if that's the right word, but zealotry has persisted. Like the people who are religious, even the people that we have maybe suggested are the negative type of religious, right?
Yeah,
the people who are a bit fear-mongering. Like,
there's definitely a very positive.
Strong. It's strong as fuck. It's around. Like, they're still around.
Yeah.
You would think, oh, yeah, maybe a fucking 100 years ago.
Exactly.
It's like, no, they're here, man.
It seems like something you'd hear about, like, people talking about back in the day.
They're the dudes going to Red Ops and going, don't buy me a coffee, you know? Like,
exactly. Well, that's right, yeah. And I mean, it's like, will maybe that... You could say, well, maybe that will kind of die off with the generations that kind of grow, but I don't think religion will ever die off because it's always people having it fed into them, you know what I mean? It's always people that believe it. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with it unless they abuse it and just force it down. That's the problem. It's a very forceful thing. They feel like they need to, you know, be out there spreading the word to basically get to heaven. So it's a real... It's marketing 101, by the way. Marketing 101.
the part I learned during my Bible studies after like my foster mum died was like, I figured out real quick the people who are trying to get a ticket to heaven, like that's fucking weird.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I never gave a fuck about heaven. I never gave a shit about dying and then the real life happens. The good thing happens. It's like, no, the good thing's happening right now. The good thing is me. The good thing is when I get to cuddle my missus or go on a podcast or, like that's the good thing. That's the good thing. It's not heaven, man.
It's almost like networking in a way for them. And they're hoping to get like, hashtag bringing it full circle, baby. Networking in hopes that they'll get something from it.
Exactly.
But Table, we'll wrap it, dude, if you're happy to. We've gone for about 3. Well, I think we've gone over 3 hours now.
Yeah, 3.5, I think.
But dude, we gotta do this again. We have to do this again soon.
I'd love to, man.
There's
Even
so
just
much
to talk
more
to you with beers. Yeah,
dude,
there is.
Hundo. We need to like make it happen because we aren't done yet.
I really hope you like. Yeah, I really enjoyed this, man. I hope you did too.
Bro,
like, I feel like there's a lot more we could have covered, but
as much as I don't want to I don't want anyone else to be like, oh, I wasn't a good guest. Everyone's been an amazing guest. You've been, I think, my favorite, dude. I feel like I can't not. I know it sounds, but maybe it's that I'm just improving as well. In the flow of things, who knows? But I think this has been a real flow, and I feel like I've really fucking enjoyed the conversation.
Me
like,
too.
Not that
You're
I haven't
easy
enjoyed.
To talk to.
Dude, same with you.
You're really easy to talk to.
And I crave that for the podcast, having someone that really
that's
bounces,
what you want.
dude, bounces.
Yeah.
And man, I would love you on more often. If you ever want to come on for a chat, you are more than welcome.
I am happy in any capacity to help you with any of your ventures should you need. So whatever you want, I got you, baby. I got you.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big Tavor fan now. I was like, okay, pull the dicks out of your mouth, boys.
I've seen a couple of times throughout this, people like, just get married already.
I did say that a little bit. Look, we're happy or I leave us alone.
But I just like it, man. I appreciate you, dude.
Absolute fucking pleasure, man. And I will hit you up probably more than you want to be like, come on the podcast again.
I'd love to.
Sounds great, brother. Bro, thank you so much. You've got to do it. We've got to let you plug yourself. Where can people find you in all the avenues?
So everybody, you can find me on twitch.tv/TavorLIve. It's written down there. We're starting tomorrow. My channel is focused big on cinematic and storyline playthroughs. We like to focus on the themes and the stories, and we're starting The Last of Us tomorrow, which is huge. So if you're into it,
wait, did you say
check us up.
The Last of Us?
Last of Us, yeah.
Wait, have you played it before?
I have, yeah.
Oh, I was about to say you're in for a treat.
Yeah, I know.
Even playing it again, man. I would happily play a game again. I have to come and dip in, bro. I love that game. Top 3, in my top 3 favorite games of all time.
Last of Us?
Oh, love it, dude.
Doesn't surprise me, man. It's phenomenal. It really is.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, that's something to definitely look out for. And if anyone doesn't give him a follow, you're missing the fuck out. But also, you can catch this episode as well. This will be up on YouTube, so anyone listening to this, maybe on Spotify or whatnot, because that's where you can listen to this as well. iTunes, Podbean, if anyone knows what the fuck a Podbean is, but apparently Podbean has this up as well. So you'll be able to find it in all sorts of places, but not live on Twitch anymore because this one is done and dusted, baby.
It's gone.
If you weren't here when it happened, or you weren't here when it happened. Tavor, bro, thank you so fucking much, man, for being an absolute pleasure. Very much. Thank you for the insightful conversation. It was amazing to hear your story as well.
My pleasure, man.
And I fucking look forward to the next one, brother. And I know everyone else does as well. You killed it, bro. All right,
thank
Tavor,
you, man.
Take care of yourself, man. And I'll catch you on the next one, brother. And I'll make sure I see you.
Thank you very much, man.
See you, man.
Bye, chat.
See you, everyone. Bye. Legend. Bye.
Bye.
Hey.